Hey guys, what is up? Can everybody hear me? I hope you can. I'm just popping up the chat in another window so I can try to multitask here, which never works out well for me. Apologize for any echo you hear in the next second. Let's pop that out. Boom. You moderators, be responsible now. I just got a message that you have more time. You can time people out. We're here to share links and share love, not to alienate each other. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to start at the top and just roll down before our guests get here, and then we'll talk about giveaway type stuff, and we'll go kaleidoscope of knives. What is up, brother? Joe Isabella, channel member both. How are you guys doing? Scott Bruce 72, channel member. Pretty fly for a knife guy. I think I saw him over at MC's. Brother Paul Mills, channel member. Good to see you, buddy. And y'all, by the way, meet Kaleidoscope of Dives if you don't know him. He is one I realized that last week won the one of the giveaways, and we didn't recognize him, which was my bad because not only is he in my chat all the time, but he's also a channel member. So just introduce yourself, good guy, and I'm hooking him up because he's a solid individual and he's nice people. Y'all probably knew him, but nobody spoke up last week and I didn't recognize him, but I'm an idiot. Paul Mills, what is up? I've got your contribution to my love right here on the table. Marco Scammell, what is up, buddy? Pre-wear is the best. Channel member, what is up? Marco, channel member, what is going on, guys? I need to post the link. I'm going to take 1 second and I'm going to post the link to the member giveaway. I've got another giveaway, but I want you guys to be thinking about who is close to 1,000 or who's close to a milestone that you think we might be able to go give some love to. And we'll do a giveaway for, and I'll show you what here in a sec. And then, of course, we'll probably have a practice time. But I'm trying to get away from StreamYard random generator because if we can spread love around, I think it's going to work better that way. And StreamYard randomizers just kind of squirrely. So what I'm doing now is I am posting in the chat and I'm going to pin it because it'll be there. You guys will not have to be here to win, but you will want to leave a comment, like this video, and then if you have to go sometime this evening or whatever and you win, I will announce you in the member chat. And why won't we pin it? It's going so fast. Pin. All right, why is it not letting me pin that? I'm gonna try something else. Bear with me, kids. I'm not very good at this YouTube thing. Let's see what I got going here. For some reason, if I post it in StreamYard, it'll let me pin it. So now the message that is pinned is the members giveaway, which is going to be, and I've held on to this one for a long time. I did a review on it, but Jared Neves did a very, very comprehensive review on it. This is the Tucson TS301. It's in titanium, micarta. It's got external stop pins. It's got a wickedly sharp D2 blade, bolster lock, glassy action, thumb stud deployment, great sharpening soil, and I would say it is a full-size medium knife in length. I want to say it's a 3.5 inch blade. I think it's going to make somebody a great knife. And then everyone, once you guys determine whose channel we're going to go focus on, I will put a link in the description once we agree on what that is. But I'm going to give away my field grade Spartan Talos. One thing I knew about the Spartan Talos when I first picked it up, I don't want to say $120 knife, but it is modeled after their 3.25 inch American made horse. So from a form factor, the knives are very, very similar. A smaller knife, um, and it's in CTS XHP, so it's a great blade steel. It is in G10, has a deep carry clip, and it's a field grade Harsey, guys. On washers, I really dig it. I carry it for a long time. I've got another Spartan field grade that in the next couple of weeks, probably before Christmas, maybe next week, we'll give away. It's the Aster. It's the bigger of these two knives, but I felt this one might make a cool giveaway tonight for subscribers because it is such a unique knife. Super, super sharp. And again, I don't know if you guys know much about blade steel, but CTS HXP is one that I really like to sharpen. It's a thicker grind, as you guys know, Spartans are. I don't think I have this angle laid back. I think we're working with the factory edge here. Normally, I would roll that back to 17 degrees, but a great knife. And all I want to know is who, Marcos, happy Friday. Who should we go try to get some extra subscribers, likes, comments, help their channel out? Joe Isabella, channel member, you multitask all you want, brother. Stephen Wallace, I'm reading from the bottom now. Brother Lord Needham, the man, the myth, the legend of Instagram. Brother Needham is here. Colby, Needham, what is up, buddy? Also a channel member. Guys, I pinned the link in case you haven't had a chance to register yet because there weren't a lot of registrations today for the member giveaway tonight. And once you register, you don't have to be present to win. Fitbit channel member, what is up? Pedro Armstrong, channel member, brother Paul Mills, Hendra Collector Brand, what is up, buddy? Be Shady. We've got Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy. I think I said hey to him. Dr. Drew Dude, Jim Miller, channel member, and screwing up, going up, going up. I don't know if I missed anybody. Yeah, channel member, what is up, guys? Yeah, I was going to hope before people popped in that I could show you some of the weird things that I've gotten in. And one of the coolest, Plate Ogre, Tactical Cherry, channel members both. What is up? Tattoo Claws is absolutely amazing. I was talking about him with a fella I talk with on Instagram who is not very big in the YouTube community, but he's very big in the knife game. He's an older guy. This year, he lives about 30 miles outside of Atlanta. This year will be his 21st show. And he's a guy I'm starting to think about, getting some different knives from, but he knows Satu. But when I think of Satu, I think of Fatal, my middle finger flick, my Cold Steel 4 Max, my 8015, and my little Tucson TS 226. And I know it's hard to see on the camera, but the grind lines on this specimen, let's do this. If you look at how even his plunges are. If you look at this hollow and where this, what I consider a spanto point, because I don't have much of a better grasp of terminology, but that's what it reminds me of. And then keeping in mind, this doesn't even have a finished edge on it. I haven't put it through my TS Prof. This is just coming off his wheels. And this is a 4-max scout. Again, some people don't want 4-max scouts to be slicey, pokey, but I use it kind of as my comparison knife. And when it came back, this absolutely blew me away. The 8015 absolutely blew me away. When I opened the Tucson, because it had a blackened tie handle and it had a blackened blade, I thought that it would be browned, right? It would have brown lines. That's what I expected it to be, kind of satined out. Freaking Sawtooth somehow matched the blade finish back to what it was originally after regrinding. I'll go grab that knife later when I have to pee, but unbelievable craftsman, all around fantastic guy. I mean, I think he's an absolute blessing to the community. I met him in person twice. I say twice, but it was both at Blade Show Atlanta 2023, and we bumped into each other a couple of different times. And you're running around so crazy there, but it was just huge smile, big hug. The same guy that I've seen on his channel, did not feel that there was anything different about him, and really just could tell he is a solid human being. Double D channel member, what is up, brother? Dr. Drew Dude's in here, and Stephen Wallace, and we got Chris S, channel member. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Pizza Operator. We have got our friends NAF Sale official in the house. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. New AWBs. We will go to the site. I wanted to show you something while you're in here, and I've already left a review on the buyer. But I don't know if y'all saw my unboxing today. But when I go to NAF Sale, which is about 4 times a day, I made an impulse buy last week. And I'd been kind of looking at, wrong solo layout. Hold on. A knife I'd been looking at kind of on and off for a while, but never really wanted to shell out the full cash for it. But take you back, one of my first premium knives that I got from Knife Works about 2 years, maybe over 2 years ago, was the Artform Slimfoot. It's the first time I'd ever heard of Artform. It's the first time I ever heard of Todd Goff. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the Slimfoot. So I wasn't real crazy about the Ultim one that Cole got that had the blade hole in it. I handled it at Blade Show. The detent didn't blow my skirt up. But I saw this come out. I didn't get a chance to handle it at Blade Show. This is the Artform Theory. It's a little understated titanium and M390 knife. It's got these little thumb pyramid discs things that at first I was a little leery about, because sometimes those things just don't work very well for me. But this knife, whether you thumb flick it, middle finger flick it, or I don't know if this is planned or not, and I missed it there, whoops, or you can front flip it. And it's got this weird vibe to me, and it doesn't look like an Nkosi in real life. It kind of does in this image, but it's a little bit shorter than a Pair 2. I want to say, I don't know who Artform's OEM is, but guys, my Slimfoot was OEM by Riot, and it is a great knife, flipper only, years ago, right? So a lot of things were different. This knife I bought kind of to bring through the channel. Thought it would probably be, which I need to make more of, a catch and release, but I absolutely love it. And I urge you guys, if you're selling knives, I've yet to sell a knife on NAS sale. I've been threatening to set up an account, but I'm so weird about selling knives. I'd rather trade them. I've got to get to a point. I'm a hoarder. I'm a knife hoarder, and then I give away knives to you guys, right? But there's some knives I could sell that are just taking up room in my case, but to me they kind of mean something. But my point is, and I'm going to share the screen now because I guarantee you it's different than when I was there 2 hours ago. And I know it is going to grow by leaps and bounds as we come to the end of the year and roll into next year, because my understanding is there is a kind of behind the scenes rebranding going on. It's not going to change anything about the functionality, the security, the buyer protection, seller protection of the site, but it's going to help it in its organic search, in its ability to be found by people who might not be in the knife community, who might not be in the know, but who might be looking for a safe place to buy and sell knives. So I'm stoked at the things that are coming. I need to open a seller's account. Here's mine to Milton, has a TRM Neutron 2. Sweet little knife. I can't tell if those are Ultim. Yeah, they're contoured Ultim scales. Luckily, I've got a Neutron, an Atom, and a Nerd, all with titanium scales. But I do have a 20 CV Nerd with a hole in it and a 20 CV Nerd without a hole in it. They're in my collection because I bought them at different times. And I love the Nerd. Kung Arius for $650. That's what I was talking to a couple of people about earlier tonight, that some of these knives that we used to not see under $900, $1,000, and I don't know anything about this knife or Koenig in general. March 31st, 2022, seems to be coming down in price from what I've seen them in the past. Just NAF, if I'm not mistaken, is brother Nafsil Luck Knives, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I love to browse Nafsil. This knife here, I wish I'd seen. Not really, because I like the color I got. The Quiet Carry Drift is one that I have been on the fence about for a really long time, because Brother Cole, I can remember when I was watching his reviews all the time, he'd gotten one that he had problems with. And I can't remember if he was having lockup issues, if he was having detent issues, if he was having, I'd love a XL Nerd StoX. I don't know if he was having centering issues, but I was on their site before Black Friday, before I found the large IQ for $149. And I was looking at this regular size drift, and this is kind of a bronzy copper color. I'm blue-green, colorblind in general. So to me, it looks kind of blacky brown. But the first thing that impressed me about this knife, and it's been around forever, right? It's supposedly all-weather knife, Van X, and supposedly won't rust. We know everything will rust, but I was amazed at how thin this little guy is. Just to give you an idea, this is my TM Nerd, one of my favorite little laser beams, right? And this is the Quiet Carry Drift. The thumb studs do protrude out further. And my buddy A to Z EDC, who has bigger hands, seemed to find an issue with the thumb studs hitting his fingers when he'd go to deploy it. I've never had, I have regular size hands. This is not the Drift Large, but I've never had the thumb stud come anywhere close on a reverse flick or a standard flick from hitting my finger. But my point is, I was amazed by how thin this guy was. Again, it's in Van X. I chose the diamond mill titanium. You can get the smooth titanium. I think it's still in stock. And I think they even had some G10 ones in stock with the same Van X, the same titanium liners. But guys, this thing, when I did the unboxing and the review, it is a therapeutic color. This thing is as slicey as anything I would want. It carries like a dream. I know a lot of people don't like the wire clip. You could put a lynch clip on there. I don't know how you'd match it to this color. I'm sure you probably could. I haven't been to their site. But I love the wire clip. And this thing takes up such a low profile that I'm a huge, huge fan. Which, I think I told y'all this last week, led me back to their site because I was just kind of looking at shit. And I don't know if I had it yet. And I came across, because you can go deep into their site. They've got knives that I didn't even know existed, like the Chase, Eddie, Crispy Critter. Congratulations on that Jaeger V3. We're going to go through and look at some different Jaegers here in a second, some of the different variations, because I haven't gotten one yet. But I picked this guy up, and right now it's got schmutz on it because I sharpened it today on my TS Prof. I knocked it back to almost mirrored edge, 17 degrees. But this knife is their IQL, which is their large IQ. It is, I'll give you all the measurement in a second, usually about 300, like the rest of their knives are, 305, 310 bucks. And originally they had it in black titanium and satin or stonewashed, and in a titanium stonewash with a stonewash blade. Black Friday, until about a day and a half ago, 2 days ago, when it sold out, this was 148 bucks. I'm not typically a flipper only guy, but I just gotten in the Quiet Carry Drift, which I had the, I guess you would say, the faith to get it, because the Quiet Carry 9 has been one of my biggest surprises of 2023. And this little knife is fantastic. And I threw it on the TS Prop. It's a thicker grind, and I'll show it to you next to the drift. And it's M390, so it's not considered one of their all-weather knives. It's considered their EDC knife. But I don't worry about that as much. But if you look at it from what their use cases would be, you can tell that the IQ, the large IQ, which I'm thinking the regular IQ is probably closer to the drift size, but it's a much thicker blade stock and a much thicker, shorter grind. So I'm a big fan of both of these knives, which made me want to do a video where during the Jason Brown raffle a couple of years ago, last year, I won a Quiet Carry Waypoint and came in. I really liked it. I didn't carry it that much. It was on washers. And then fast forward 9 months, I picked up the Quiet Carry 9 on a community member, buddy of mine's recommendation, who had bought 2 and fell in love with it. Loved the blade, loved the action, loved everything about it. Fast forward till when I went crazy right before Black Friday, I wanted to try a drift. And I knew that I was probably shooting 50% there. I thought I might hate it, but worst case scenario, I'd send it back, right? Absolutely love it. But the other cool thing that came in today is this little guy right here. And I tried to put it on an ulti clip before we started. You guys might have seen the unboxing of this. Watch this sheath pop off. Got the best sheath retention. But this is the Griffin Company Scout Medic, which is their small. I've got the Scout 2.5 that I picked up on NASL of all places after seeing Stosser's review on it. And now they make this in a folder, the Scout 3.0. Wasn't real interested in that. But this is the Scout 2.5, which is more of a, I would say, let's look at the TRM Neutron. The Scout 2.5 is a little bit shorter than the Neutron, right? So I'm going to say it's baby bug out size. It may be, what do I have here? Small. Asher Nomad, which is about bug out size. Even smaller than that, right? So the Scout Medic has the same blade geometry. It's OEM by Bestech. S35VN, but it's just a smaller little package. And when I look at a package like this, or like my Baltic blades, Angus, or when I look at this little Bark River Micro Canadian that I just picked up that I love, I look at it as package openers, the way I use them in a city EDC environment. I use them to cut through a bunch of duct tape if I have to. They're just great, to me, enhancements to my EDC. So I bought this knife. Funny story about it, which is not resolved yet. But I bought this knife and I was late to the game. So when I got to the Combat Beads website, they were all sold out except titanium. These knives were 130 bucks. Carbon fiber was like 160, and then the titanium was like 170 for these little titanium scales. So I didn't have a choice. I bought the titanium because I wanted the knife. I missed the drop last time. So I had the knife. I immediately went to their scales and saw that they had carbon fiber scales in stock for 60 bucks. I'm a knife addict. I'm an idiot. I kind of wanted to match this, even though when I bought this knife, I bought some olive micarta scales, and my sheath didn't have the same retention because these are formed up with the scales that they come on to the sheath. It was good, but it didn't have that shoot across the room. So I put the carbon fiber back on. So when I unbox this, my unboxing is a little longer than it needs to be. You can fast forward about 7 minutes of that, where I tried to get these two screws off, which I did, but they were so Loctited in there, I had to take the back screws, screw them back together, and then use my finger bit after blow drying. Long story short, I didn't do it for more than 5 minutes. I figured, screw this. I'm just going to put the titanium scales on it, put it in my pocket, start carrying it, see what I think about it. And I'm glad I did. The titanium don't weigh much more. I will eventually get the carbon fiber scales on, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that they'll make the sheath not as snappy, and I'll put the titanium back on. And I've heard you can just take a blow dryer after you put your other scales on and kind of heat it down. But this is a great little knife, and I think you'll see it back in stock. They have it also with the G10 handle, several micarta handles, and I want to say it's like 20 bucks, 120 bucks in that configuration. Same as S35, made by Bestech. And then the 2.5, I forget how much this one was, but I picked this up from a super nice guy on mass sale, and I got a really good deal on it, in my mind, which is all that matters. And then the other cool thing that y'all might have seen me fooling with before, and I've learned because I think I missed a call from Saigon Kick or a message, something, or I had a dream, or I watched JD4EDC's video where Saigon reached out to him. Saigon Kick is the guy who originally started doing the magnet mods for a lot of the knives, like the Demco 20.5s, the Kunwu Pulsar, some of the other knives that had traditionally lighter detents. Well, he had seen JD for EDC's video, and he may have seen one of mine because I basically used what I saw in JD for EDC's video to mod mine and gave him credit, of course. But I did magnet mods on all four of my shark teeth or shark foots, and my two drop points. And then I also did a magnet mod on my pulsar, which seemed to give them both better detail. I expected it for some reason to maybe be a little more snappy. And guys, this is a lot snappier than it was. But these are just Amazon magnets. You might see them right there. But Saigon Kick sent JD for EDC a card with the magnets that he gets. Saigon is the man, Dean, but he sent him a card with the magnets that he gets. He sent him an original gold aluminum scale with where he places them. So I'm hoping to learn more where I can, because these are easy enough to go back in and take off. The other thing I learned from the video, which JD for EDC hadn't tried yet, was that super glue with the stronger magnets is not strong enough to hold the magnets over time. It'll become brittle. The magnets will eventually pull together, and you want to make sure that they don't come into contact with your blade. And one of the things that Saigon does, and I noticed this on the original goat scales that JD for EDC showed, he countersinks them just a little bit. So he does a real perfect job. And it wasn't that I was ever against paying for the mod. Once I went to YouTube and looked at it, I like to mod and fuck around with my knives anyway, as you guys know. Plus, it gives me crash and burn struggle bus videos. And I always feel like those could be entertaining. And usually they help me learn because I get to a point where I'm so frustrated. Today on the unboxing, there was one other time I was defeated by skiffs, but today on the unboxing was one time, and I think maybe on Shane's Bradford Guardian that we traded for, I couldn't get those scales off. But very rarely will I stop disassembly, skiff, whatever the case is, video without getting the knife back together the right way. Because I'm just like you guys. I fumbled through it. I had parts fall out, like on the Cold Steel 20.5. I mixed up my stop pin with one of my pins for the shark lock. I do stupid stuff too. But what I've learned is if you dump it out and kind of look at it, and you guys already probably know this, but if I dump it out, what's up, Urban Woodsman? And I kind of look at it, I can kind of piece back together. And I kind of struggled with the Kunwu Pulsar. And I taken it apart and put it together before. But the way you have to sandwich that bar lock, the little, it's not a grommet, it's not a washer, but it's a little thing that goes between the scale and the liner that then the bar lock screws into on both sides. So you get it put together and you think you can thread your bar lock through and you realize that you've got to take your liners out. So it was a trip, but I enjoy doing stuff like that. I always have. And that very few knives now in my older age, which I am old age, that I'm afraid to take apart. I've taken apart my Medfords. I've taken apart all my hangers. I have not taken apart my Evo from Carco yet, but when I look at it, I ordered bearings for it, but when I look at it, it has skiffs in it. So I don't see a reason to take this knife apart yet, but I did get some skiffs for my Leon Ma. Midnight, what is up, buddy? My Field Duty 3.5, which when I look at my knives, all of my knives, and I don't look at it by price, I look at it by which knives I love the most. This knife is still in the top 3, if not higher. This is the Leon Ma Field Duty EDC. I don't know if my particular knife has perfect detent. I don't know if this knife just happens to be tuned to what I consider perfect detent. I bought this knife over 2 years ago after Lefty rant and raved about it. And Beard Gear, a lot of people that I watched that I respected and I trusted liked the knife. And it was one of the most expensive knives. It broke a ceiling for me. I'd gone from Benchmades and Spyderco's to my first River's Edge cutlery, Leon Ma. It was a field duty EDC. I got the G10, which was the least expensive of the options. But guys, I love this knife. And if I were to break this knife down per day, and I've had it for 200 days, we'll say 600 days. I've had it for 600 days, which I've had it for more than that. That's 50 cents a day. And it's just fantastic. And I talked to Leon about, and it was on Instagram, but about 2.5 weeks ago, because I saw Eutectics, which I gave one away. It's his budget brand. The Eutectic is his first release out of that brand. And when he first debuted them, he had a Eutectic FDC, which was a field duty EDC. It was the same size and it was the same profile as this knife with a liner lock, with BG10 at a very, very, very reasonable price. And he says it's the next one. The field duty 3.5 Jim Miller is a fantastic knife. I picked up one after Blade Show and love it. Ian Coates, hugs, brother. Good to see you, my man. This knife right here, and there was a lot of shit that came around this knife. My buddy, A to Z, my best friend here in Huntsville, ordered one, and his whole thing was waiting. So he waited. He got the canvas, and his COA was one of the ones, because that one variation, the COA got mixed up with, the numbers matched, but the material on the handle didn't match. So I went to Blade Show 2023, went by Leon's booth, picked up one of these, not knowing what to expect. The detent is fire. The only correction I would make, and the only gripe that I have, for my finger, this hole is too big for me, because if I'm not careful, I can do the hot dog down the hallway. What's up, Stabby Stokes, Mary Ellen? And see, if I slide my finger through there, I don't ever want to feel like that, right? So I know where to hold it, and it's got a sharp enough edge. But if this was shrunk down where you never had to worry about that, and you could just put the force of your finger in a slot like you can in the EDC, the detents, guys, are tuned. And this S90V blade, the ergos, to me, the beauty of the cross-cut carbon fiber, it may not be cross-cut carbon fiber. If I made that up, I'm sorry. And the tumbled bolsters just make me love this knife. This is also well in my top 5. The only Leon Ma I own. Howdy, Rod. The only Leon Ma I own that's not in my top 5, but it is in my top 10, is another oldie but a goodie, and it's the Cuff 3.0. Keep in mind, what Christine at Women Carry Knives would call medium hands, right? So this is a smaller knife. If we compare it to the Spartan Harsey 3.25, you'll see that it's actually a little shorter, even though the ergos are better, than the Spartan Harsey 3.25. So it's a little guy, right? But for me, I'm not a chef. I'm not prepping stuff with this knife, which is what it was designed after. But as an EDC knife, as a package opener, as a paper cutter, it's just a freaking great knife. I'm a huge fan. And then there are a whole bunch of knives he makes that I don't even look twice at. I was at his booth and we talked about it. And I was like, I just don't get it. And he likes flippers, and I understand. Um, and be shady, that was not cool at all. I think it's totally fun. You guys all know I love Jerry Mays. I think of him as a little brother who I'm so proud of. That pisses me off when my phone rings and it's a scammer and it makes my freaking camera go away. No, but guys, Jared Nees is someone I look up to, someone I love like a brother, someone that I care about, someone that early in the community, I've always had his back. You know me, I see all sides of the situation. I saw a Leon that was hurt, that was speaking out before thinking and feeling attacked because it was something he was dealing with. Congratulations, Rob. Which ones you get? And Jim, he is a humble person. And he tried, and I understand Jared for not wanting to resolve that. Jared was put in a bad situation. I love Jared Nees. I think Leon feels like shit about it. Leon might not feel like shit about it, but he told me he did. He told me he regretted it. I want to give everybody a chance, right? Demonoc, buddy, make sure you enter the giveaway. You do not have to be here. Y'all got to tell me so I can get our subscriber giveaway set up. Whose channel should we go to? I know we went to Work Life Balance last week. Let me see who's close to 1,000. Hold on. I would like to help somebody, anybody that you guys know. I mean, I don't, unfortunately, I'm not in the game. He's at 960 subscribers. But I think most of us have gone to Work Life Balance, right? And subscribed over there. We should raid Arius EDC. We should raid Arius. Let me check that one, buddy. I want to make a difference, so let's see what it is. Arius, EDC. Enter. Is this it? He's got 643. Drew EDC just hit 200. I got Arius pulled up. All right, I'm not seeing anybody else throwing up a name. Drew, if you'll remind me midnight, please remind me midnight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write it down. We're going to do Drew's next week or later in our next giveaway. But I want to get everybody who's here a video that they can go leave a comment in with Javon so that if they leave and I recognize them, which I recognize most of you guys, I'm just trying not to find swipers. So we're going to go to Drew's EDC next. And I promise this little notebook is rudimentary as it looks. Is the reason all y'all get your shit that you win, because I write it down in there. So what I'm going to do, let me just scroll down. Just go to WN. Yep. Please, guys, do that. Please, guys, look at the links that people are posting and take a second. I'm going to pin this in the comments. Hey, Louie, channel member, welcome, buddy. I've got the channel giveaway video poked at the top. Thank you, Strong. I always mispronounce your name, buddy. Welcome. Make sure you register for the Tucson. It is in the pinned at the top of the chat. I never announce giveaways, guys, because I don't want people coming here. I want people here to win knives. Don't get me wrong. I want to give you guys my knives, but I don't want people coming here to inflate my numbers to give people I don't know knives. That's not my game. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Aries videos, and it looks like he uploaded one 16 hours ago called TNFU 26. I'm a knife maker, and what is hands made update. To be honest with you, it A, looks like a very good video. B, I was not subscribed. So I'm subscribed and watching this video on mute now. I'm liking it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in the comment, but then I've got to go to my popped out chat and pin it. So this is where things get whacked because I've got to scroll all the way down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Damn it. All right, see if what I just pinned, this is it, guys. So what I want y'all to do on this video is please subscribe if you haven't. Please watch one of his videos because it lets, and like it lets YouTube know that you're a real person, right? I got a 99 Zerk kit for my Jaeger version 2 on Brian Brown's site. And then just leave a comment in there, and somewhere it can just say Juhvon, Juhvon. It doesn't have to have any hashtag. It doesn't have to be capitalized. What I'll do is I'll go to the video in a little while. I just want everybody to get in and register for the giveaways, for the member giveaway and for the first giveaway, which is the Spartan Talos, the little horsey as I call it, in CTS XHP. And that way y'all can go do stuff. And if you win, you know, somebody will speak up for you. I'll remember you, and you'll be in good shape. And let me fix my table real quick, motherfucker. Let's see what happens if I put that there. Not a thing, so I'm gonna have to go. Sorry, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Go register. Go register to win. That sounds so cheesy. I never do that, guys. I don't give away stuff. Now, I will give away this knife eventually that Faustine sent me that I helped him design the sheath on after Blade Show. But I rarely get knives sent to me from companies. If I do, you guys will get them. But I will always pass knives along. I won one from Lefty early. I won one from KC. I won one from JB. I won one from Slicey that I never got. And then after the shit hit the fan, and I went to YouTube where somebody, I think Super Still Steve, was asking for people to give their stories. And I said, hey, I've got no issue with this. I don't want it. But I did win a Patriot from QSP. And as of today, I haven't gotten it. And about 15 minutes later, I got an email from Slicey Dicey. You think he'd been trolling the comments? Hey, I was looking through my emails and it looked like I didn't send you this $26 Patriot. I said, buddy, I didn't even have a channel at the time. I said, I was going to gift it to somebody anyway. All right, let's see if this is going to work for me. Let's enter the studio. Bang. Put that there. And it'll at least show us what we got. But yeah, I had a real hard time. And the stitch, let me get that. This is, again, one of the biggest surprises of this year because I had reviewed my buddy A to Z's, and y'all ought to go follow him. We'll go to his Instagram in a second. But I had reviewed his MSI and FRN and didn't like it at all. This came in, I want to say to DLT as a restock, and it was listed as ribbed G10 at $310. So I bought it. It came in, and I found it so different than the MSI, not only because the blade's smaller, but in the refinement of the handles. All the sharp edges, with the exception of the pocket clip, were gone. The action was to die for. Yeah, it's a little light, but it's a stitch, right? I went and got the box. They sent me the aluminum instead of the G10, which is like $100 more. And I emailed them back and I said, hey guys, no foul. I just unboxed this on my channel. I think you guys sent me the aluminum instead of the G10. The box even says aluminum. You want me to switch it out with you? And they were like, absolutely not. You know, sorry for the confusion. I hope you're happy with the aluminum. If you'd rather, I mean, really nice customer service for something like that. And I rarely get it. My blade 8 screw, I was sold a titanium root that turned out to be aluminum. So yeah, there's that. But when the Jaeger V3 came out, guys, I've had this now, has it been 2 years since this dropped? Which was, I want to say it's 2 years. This is the EDC Specialties version. And I bought it from a buddy of mine who is the buyer at St. Nick's Knives. And we just happened to be over there the Saturday after the drop. And he had bought 2 of these. He bought a flipper version and he bought a non-flipper. And he wasn't sure which one he wanted. Junior Miz, awesome brother. Howdy, man. Arco gifted 5 memberships. Y'all, let me tell you who won these memberships. Rob's Nerdy Knives, you were gifted a membership by brother Carco. Carco is my personal hero and Evo getter guy. Pretty Fly, you were gifted a membership. Backwood Blades, Midnight, you were gifted a membership. And Bama Ninja, you were gifted a membership from Carco. What that means is Carco is an awesome dude, but now you need to go up to not the video that's pinned at the top, because that's the general giveaway. You need to go find the members content that has this to sign and leave a comment. I'll pin it again later, but you new members, thanks to the kindness of Carco. Speaking of Carco, the Carco salute. Thank you, Carco. Y'all go definitely get in on that giveaway. What is up, Pocket Metal?
Not much. How you guys
doing? I've been just rambling. I haven't shut up these mouth.
So business as usual.
I've been drinking these white chocolate Starbucks on an empty stomach, and they just crack me out.
Yeah, I don't think that someone who has ADHD maybe needs to drink as many of those as you do.
I went after you and I talked to Costco to get my prescriptions filled. Everything was great. They used my RX card, cut everything down. And usually I take my time release at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I took it at 4 p.m. So I've got like an extended release Adderall just starting to go through my blood. And I haven't had one in 4 or 5 days because I've been dealing with the bullshit.
That's fucking... yeah, I haven't even tried. I'm gonna try tomorrow and call around and see what I can get going on with that kind of stupid shit. But
It
same old,
what
same.
what I did is I found out, and my pharmacy told me there are two suppliers for the North Alabama area. And she gave me the pharmacies that I could call that were not in their network. She goes, everyone in our network, since we're Walgreens, if we can't get it, they can get it. But if you call these other, like named off 5 that use a different warehouse distribution channel, that's your best chance. It might save you the trouble of calling everybody.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll try to remember to do it tomorrow, but my brain's fucking so shot. I'm terrible with that stuff. I
Well, dude,
saw.
I can't function without it. I mean, it's just like I should get disability. Go
It's.
ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I saw. Let me see here. Someone commented on something. B Shady said something about getting one of the coffin slips. He's had a lot of um cool leather stuff, and I sent Javon one today too because Javon has the what the fuck is the name of that fixed blade you got?
Thank
The
you, Nick.
um oh I
For
can't
which
remember the name of
one?
it. The one that I sent you the sheath for the um it's two companies. One makes it, one designed it. It's a Boker, I think, produced, but it's designed by someone else.
You sent it to me?
Yeah, you liked. I sent you the message either today or yesterday. Yeah, right there, the Boker AK1.
Oh yeah.
I had to look back because I can't remember the names of shit. But yeah, they do some. He has
Totally
some cool
confused.
leathers.
I've got those Oak City Leatherworks that I've gotten that I didn't buy them, but they came with 2 of my chickadees. You've
Oh,
probably
right
seen
on.
them on
Yeah,
Instagram, right? This guy makes them. Um, I ordered one for, and it's been a while. I guess he hand makes them. I've forgotten about it.
yeah.
But I ordered one for my little T. Denny Apprentice, which is a tiny little knife. And I'm just curious how it's going to carry in it because I'm looking for it to be a pocket dropper, which I
Those
want.
sheaths. I mean, it's like it's like I appreciate that. It's looks like it's really nice leather that it's so thick and everything. But at the same time, if you're trying to get that as an in pocket carry, that might be a hell of a thick thing in your
It's
pocket.
thicker. Right, right. Check this little guy out. And I was going to use it as a pocket dropper. And it's even got eyelets. I don't have the right screws to put an ulti clip on it. This is a Bark River. I have
Yeah,
been wearing it on my belt because it is so little. It is a 5-inch knife. It's called the Micro Canadian. And buddy, this is the one that I was telling you ranges from 142 and 3V to
yeah,
like 600 with the mammoth bone in it, right? Because they probably have 40 on their site from plain micarta to micarta with a liner to all these different exotic bones and things that really drive the
yeah.
price up. But what I've been amazed with, I guess you would call this a Skinner blade, or what was your use in the old days be for a little knife like this? Like a
So
claw
I mean, as far
Mason?
as like, it would be small game if it was being used for skinning, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that's. But for urban EDC, like cutting open
yeah, I
jack
think it's just like a small ADC type knife.
and destroying duct tape, I love the shape of it. It's got this. My chickadee is about the same length, a little bit shorter, but if you look at how they've shortened the blade and given you so much handle, I can get, and I know my hands are smaller than you, but I can get 4
Yeah, it's
fingers
probably like a 3 finger knife from
on that little knife.
people.
And the sheath that I'm not usually a huge fan of is just a deep drop. So I kept it in my back pocket and I thought, well, that's stupid because it could fall out. And then it's got these eyelets, which I like. I just got to get the right diameter hardware to mount one of my.
And those holes may not like work with like some of those clips, like what's it, Alti clip or something. Well, that one actually has adjustable sliding.
Right. But
So that
what I found is you're exactly right. They don't fit with any of the hardware, just the mounting hardware, which is the screw, the barrel, and the little gasket. I bought several different variations from Amazon, and I think they measure them in the shortness of the screw, so like a short one, a little thicker, a little longer if you've got to go through more gaskets. Do I just have to go to Home Depot and find a smaller fastener to go through? Because that's all I need.
I mean, for something like that, you could, but you're not going to get anything that's like PVD coated or anything at Home Depot. You're going to get like brass or bronze or whatever the hell it is.
I've Googled and Amazon, and you would think that there would be, because perfect example, this knife that was sent to me by TKL, they had to go in and modify the discrete carry clip with a drill. And they also have thinner screws. So these two mounting screws that they bought somewhere, and discrete carry, who makes the clip, has no fucking clue. They've been no help. I've emailed them. I've asked them, point me in the right direction. They're like, duh. But they wouldn't have made these eyelets on here, I don't think, if there wasn't a way to put any of those TechLock type systems on. I just need more narrow, faster.
So from what I've seen in the past, Bark River hates the fact that they even make sheaths for knives. They said that they don't believe that they should have to, but they do. The fact that they do it is just so people don't complain about not getting a sheath with their knife.
Because you should buy your own sheath and get it done.
That's like their idea. That being said, I like the sheath I have that I got from them, and I bought another one from them, but mine doesn't have any mounting hardware. It's not. Mine
didn't either. Mine.
Oh no, it doesn't have the rivets on it like that. My sheath, at least I don't think it is. But that's just like their whole philosophy. So I don't think they put any thought. Yeah. So the sheath that I have only has 2 down here for doing like a lashing if you wanted to.
Right.
And it's just has a a belt loop, and that's it. So I honestly don't I'll wear this when I'm out camping or hiking or whatever, but if you try to sit down with this thing on, it sucks. You got to get a dangler for it.
This one was
not an EDC
surprisingly comfortable vertically. Rob, there's a place called Artemis. They do Kydex holsters. I found my Tops Bull Trout sheath, and they have like 40 other popular knives. I don't know which one you're looking for, but I know they have some Bark Rivers, and there are a lot of companies that will do a Kydex sheath for you. Worst case scenario, you have to send them a knife, because I prefer.
The reason, like I said, I was actually like happy with the sheath enough to use it. But the reason you buy a Bark River is because it's American made and comes with a great warranty. They're great
with the greatest edge, and
this it's a convex edge. So when you go to sharpen it, it's not going to be similar to your other. You know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't have a V edge on it.
Sharpen it with a belt. I won't do that though. I'll fuck it up.
You might want to send it to somebody or watch some videos on sharpening that or something. But yeah,
they have to have a belt. I think that's the gig. I think you have to have use a belt system. The little electronic belts.
Yeah.
To check this out though. This thing has got the sharpest spine on the back there. Let me unclip it so I don't light my Zippo fluid on fire and just turn myself into a fireball on live stream. Doggone it, Daddy. I'm going to cut myself or something.
Crewer had asked me a little bit ago, he said, best way to know when GEC does their drops. So definitely check out their website, and once they post a new cover photo, that means that those knives will be being shipped to the distributors. They have a list of distributors, and then you can sign up for all of their emails. For the people who do that, and every site is going to be dropping them at different times. The next one coming up is going to be the large sodbuster pattern, which is the bullbuster. This is the smaller one. The bigger one's quite a good size knife. And those should be coming out to dealers pretty soon.
Did you get in on any drops today?
Yesterday was the 14s, but I wasn't. 14's a little small. I don't want to get any knives that are that small. I have quite a few smaller GECs, and I'm kind of done with it. And then today was
sparks with that.
Jack Wolf's. What's that?
Did you see me throw the sparks with this little knife?
I didn't, but I mean,
watch this.
Most of them have a pretty decent spine on them.
But like this one and the LT Wright, I mean, I've got a White River.
I mean, the LT Wright's a bushcraft knife, so it's definitely going to have a good sharp spine on it.
Too, because it's so sharp. I mean, did you see that?
I was reading
my 3 fireworks.
I was reading the comments, reading through comments again.
Dude, I'm sitting here. Give me.
You got to set something on fire. I need to see like your hutch behind you catch on fire, and then I'll notice it.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, you can see it. I wouldn't set your crotch on fire. So far, you've stabbed yourself on a live stream. Next thing, you're going to be setting your crotch on fire.
Well, one thing, and I thought about circling it. I've got over on my mat where I do my table downs. I did stab myself a couple of weeks ago, and I bled. Muff Monkey's here. I've not seen Muff Monkey in forever. Howdy, Muff Monkey.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you, buddy?
Oh, I'm good. Why does this screen look like shit?
Looks good here.
Well, no, I've got extra shit on my screen I don't want.
Uh-oh. You got to minimize it.
Hell, I don't. Fuck it. I can't see. No way. I ain't got my glasses on, so.
We can hear you good, and we'll highlight people who are asking you questions. Did you see my arrow rod striking of my new little fixation that I just happened upon? This is a micro Canadian by Bark River in 3D.
I doubt you happened upon anything.
I did, because it wasn't anything I was looking for. I just happened to be browsing DLT, and like I was telling Pocket Metal, they had probably 40 of these in there, ranging in price $300-400, because this knife with a map-bone handle was $560. I got like 140 with my card up and toxic grain G10 liner, but there were so many different configurations. I guess just one of each. But I love this little knife, dude. I mean, I think I like it better than my Chickadee for what I use it for. Opening an Amazon package, cutting through some duct tape.
I'm going to sneeze now.
Opening cat food. Doing wah-wah stuff. How you been, buddy? Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you. As far as production goes, I think Bark River is one of the better outdoorsy, type knives. I like the fact that they use 3B and A2.
Yeah. The one thing I've said this, a while back, and I don't know if it's been addressed or not. So the whole way I found out about them was on DBK, Dutch Bushcraft Knives, the two crazy kids that do that channel. And they absolutely used to love, Bark River knives. And then I guess recently, in the last year or so, there's been problems where, because it's no questions asked, return policy, blah blah blah. But when when people were sending stuff in to get returned, it's been taking them like for freaking ever, which kind of is understandable. But at this, it's also there was an issue with on the Bark River, I guess like one of the group sites that they run. They were like deleting comments where people were like saying, stuff about the fact that they've been having some issues with
They
their
made a
latest
video about that,
knives.
didn't they? Those two guys?
Yeah.
I saw
So,
that.
I mean, I haven't bought a Bark River in several years. It's been like 3-4 years since I bought the one that I have. So mine was fine, but I don't know what the deal is. I haven't seen to know. And you got one. D2's bought a few recently. He likes all his, so I don't really know.
Mine, the
What's been
grind's
going on.
perfect, but it's a small knife. I've noticed they have a wide variety of knives, but none
Yeah.
really speak to me that much. And I would imagine, like Benchmade or any big company, you're going to have those issues. And if you're not set up to deal with those issues, that's where the problems, I think, arise. Because I think every one of us,
It's a way smaller company than Benchmade.
sure, but I think every one of us, as frustrating as it is, will accept a problem if someone reaches out to make it better. Great examples. I mean, I've had people earn my business and repeat business over and over because of the way they addressed a problem, right?
Kyle put in something for mounting hardware for you. A link.
Well, when you screw up, you as a business, you have to own it.
Yeah, and,
So, I
I
mean,
don't remember if it was like a heat treat issue that was causing, because I think there's some of it was with chipping, but I don't know what model, what blade steel, because they do such a range. Like mine's Crewware, they do like you said A2, they do such a wide range, Magna Cut, and so many different other steels that I don't know what the fuck the problem was with. Is this something I heard? I would do a little bit of research on that kind of shit just to see.
Okay,
I mean,
you are my hero too, buddy. Thank you. I just bookmarked that.
I think to a degree you run into the risk of that with any company. I mean, they're going to have, and I'm not trying to justify shitty products, and that's the reason I say they should own it. Is you may.
Yeah.
When I used to work in a machine shop, we would get a batch of steel that we would order to make parts, and we would send it up. We would go through the whole fucking 9 yards of machining it, doing the pre-machine, because you have to do machining after heat treat, but you machine it down to a point so you don't have to cut through hardened steel so much. You send it out to get heat treated, and then it won't heat treat because we ordered A2 and they gave us D2, which is two different heat treat processes.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And so that does happen. I mean, that very well could happen to a company like, Bark River, where they order, 3V, which has one heat treat process, and they actually got, W2 or, 01, or because they use all of those.
Yeah.
We don't think about that as much because it's really not.
The only thing that I was like saddened by was that they were deleting people's comments.
Yeah.
That were like, not saying things that were positive. But I mean, as far as, like the reason that, for instance, that one of the things that I liked was that every knife you buy, when it's especially something like this, which is walnut burl, they show you the image of the knife you're buying. So there's like no guesswork. They'll have like 4 or 5 in that particular handle material. And then you can see, which one you're getting. So you know what the wood looks like and shit. Whereas, someone was saying that they really like Bradford knives. Bradford is a completely different style of knife. These are known for having, the way that the handles are done and stuff like that. It's just a different tool altogether, so to speak. And so I don't think that someone's going to buy one thing and then would change their mind if they had something like this, for instance. Bradford doesn't make anything that looks anywhere near this like this. A lot of people may fucking hate the way this looks, but obviously I like stuff that looks like it was made a fucking 100, 200 years ago, which everyone likes to talk trash about, but whatever.
If you want to trade it for an Arctic blue, let me know, buddy. Yeah, it's I think, again, I look at other businesses, but if you're trying to keep up and innovate, you're going to have a few step backs, but it's how you deal with the step backs. How you treat your customers through that process. And I really think, and I could be wrong because I'm just blanket statementing, this is kind of ignorant, so y'all please correct me, but it almost seems like some of the bigger companies, and of course they've got the more resources, seem to be more reactive to those issues than some of the smaller guys, which I can understand because they're trying to figure out how to make it, work out. Midnight, the Bradford, I got one Bradford I traded with Shane, and it had the diamond handles on it, the G10, which
the G10.
Right, and it had that split hardware, whatever it's called, a little 2 dots. So I had my scales that I ordered to replace it came with 2 bits because you'd have to use a finger bit or 2 screws. That shit was Loctited so hard, I could not get them out. I broke both bits. I ordered cheap ones off Amazon, 26 bits. Sat back there with a blow dryer and broke probably 13 to 16 of those 26 bits before finally getting them to turn. So once I got it out, it was the hardest scale swap I've ever done. It was not done on camera. It was started on camera, and it was a fail. But
you should have dropped it in hot water.
I could have done that. I think what I ended up doing, to be honest with you, Dark Gravity, since it wasn't titanium, is that's why I bought that little $8 solder iron from
Harbor Freight.
Amazon, because I could just take it and touch it to that hardware and really melt. I finally got it to break loose, and luckily my new scales, which were contoured and made the knife feel much heavier or much better, bulkier, came with its own hardware. So by not having any Loctite, it was a done deal. Because I want to be able to take my scales off and clean them up or dry them off if I get the knife wet. But I'm a weirdo.
I just like to be able to take shit apart.
I do too.
I only take it apart if I have to.
And that's fair. That's what I used to. I used to always get
95% of your collection, though, pocket metal is traditional. I know if I took those
I don't know about 95%. I have a lot of other stuff. I just don't give 2 fucks about it, and I carry it, but I don't like talk about it or show it because it's not. It doesn't.
It's not as interesting.
Pocket metal did have a traumatic experience about 3 Mondays ago.
What's that?
You did have a traumatic experience about 3 Mondays ago.
I wouldn't say it was a traumatic experience. It was all fun and games.
It's kind of like
I bought. So I
bought 2 years old. I can understand how that would throw you back a little bit.
I had bought the Crewware Spyderco, the Crew Carta. One. I fucking hated that knife, and so I sold the liners to Bill Prox because he was modding someone else's and fucked it up, so he needed a set of liners. So I sold my liners to him. So now I have a blade, the shitty scales, and no liners. So I wasn't going to spend another $200 for liners. I wanted to get the regular liners anyways, and get aftermarket scales that were contoured, something like Flytanium or fucking what have you, whatever, right? So I found that you can buy a knockoff Spyderco on AliExpress for $13. So I was trying to take the damn thing apart to see if I could steal the scales out of it, or not scales, but the liners, and use those. But the fucking thing was like Loctited with fucking JB Weld or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it would not fucking break loose. So
Send
it
that
was
to me in a box. I will use my little
someone just
soldering
put
iron.
a interesting idea, a hot glue gun. So obviously with no hot glue in it, but
Right.
the tip of it gets hot as fuck, and then that might break down the
That's what I would
fucking
do with
whatever's in
my
there.
soldering
I
iron. If
tried
it
I tried a
was me.
torch. I had a torch on it. I was beating on it with shit. I tried, fucking. Javon was all like, "Oh, just use a fucking hair dryer." That did not get hot enough.
It always worked for me, but it did not work for my scalp. I'm gonna have to either
If it's
flame
legit,
these titanium scales, but I'm gonna have to put the my little $8 soldering iron on there, which I think your glue gun would do the same thing because you're putting direct heat into that
Yeah.
metal.
well, if it's actual JB Weld, it's not going, or something of that
I was
nature. But
joking. I don't know what the fuck it
but
is, but it's in there
if
really
it's red,
fucking good.
if it's red Loctite, you can drop it in boiling water,
That's a good
and
idea. I could try that too.
that'll melt. It'll melt it because Loctite is like a plastic,
Yeah.
and so when you heat it up, it'll melt just like a plastic.
Like I said, let me see if I have it still sitting over here on my little chair. Do I have? Yeah. So I had a fucking torch to it. And it didn't fucking stop.
But you were
that wasn't enough to
where you couldn't really direct the heat to where you needed it. You were looking forward to setting your whole desk on fire. Did you see that, Dark Gravity? What Carco helped me acquire?
Yeah, I saw it.
With Pro X's scales on there. Those bills, fiber scales.
I still don't have one.
I thought you did have one.
No, I've never had an Evo.
They've come down. Everything's come down pretty much, and
that's because ain't nobody got no money.
True.
How much?
Weren't
they like around $7?
I picked it up for much less than that, but yes, they're between. I say much less than that. I picked it up for less than that, which I felt was very, very fair. But I've seen them go from between 7 and 9 to 11 on NAS sale, but I don't look at a lot of the different places. That's why my buddy Scotching Things, I've been kind of dipping my toe in the spider world. So I felt comfortable enough with him, with all the trading he does, to kind of find me a good deal, something that somebody like me as a newbie would appreciate, right? And he, hopefully, Dark Gravity, it comes tomorrow. It says it's going to, but I got a feeling it won't be here till Monday. But he hooked me up, dude. He found me a great deal on a brand new, I don't know much about it. I can show you a picture of it.
What is it?
It's a Strider. I want to say it's an SNG, but it's
Well, most likely for you, I don't think an SMF would be your kind of deal. I would think either a PT or a SNG would be your kind of jam.
Well, I think it may be one of the big ones. I'm not sure.
Well, the SMF is pretty freaking huge, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just bigger than what I want to carry.
Well, he kind of knows because I was showing him. This is kind of my. What's this size? This is the one I think you've got. Is that the SNG?
I've got an SNG, yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, I think this is the size. Let me get the picture. I thought he did an unboxing on it, and I just happened to be watching it, and he sent me a text that I hadn't read yet. But he said, dude, absolutely no pressure. I will keep this knife. But I was thinking about you when I saw it, and I know you don't feel comfortable in the Facebook groups and stuff. I knew the guy, and I snagged it in case you were interested. And it was just right up my alley. And a very good price, because that's what he said. He said, if you know where to look, but I don't know enough about them. Tell me if you can see this picture. If not, I can send it to my email. Let me send it to my email.
And a lot of the groups, because you get a very fair price, and the reason you get a very fair price is because they may want something from you down the road, and if they tax you, then you're going to tax them, and then they may not be able to get it. It's the same thing. I mean, when I've been in, I try to be, which I've done, a couple of little deals with you.
You're
I
very
mean,
fair.
I'm not trying to make money out of it, because if there's something like, if you decide down the road you want to get rid of that Evo, if I would have upcharged you on something I sold you in the past, then you're going to upcharge me, and I may not have enough money to get it. And so with a lot of this taxing that folks want to do on knives, I understand with some of them, making a smidge on it, but buying a Evo for $600 and then selling it for 12, to me is no. And that's the reason I don't have
don't know.
I have a game.
I said you do that to people you don't know, not the ones you do.
Well, the thing is our community, when it comes to certain things, I mean, it's just like the GET community. I mean, you get into some of those groups online, and it's the same guys all the time.
Well, that's the group, which I don't really go there that often, but the one that I am a part of, the whole idea behind it is that people are selling shit like basically list price, what they paid for it, kind of thing. Now, if it's a super older model, it might be slightly different than that. But when it's something that just came out on a drop, they're just selling it back to the club members for whatever they got it for, or else you basically get kicked
based
out.
on credibility. Where NAF sale gives people a forum to throw crazy prices out there, which I think we all have a responsibility as a registered buyer. I'm not a registered seller yet, but to go in, and I have fun doing it every morning. I will message people and say, hey man, that's a nice looking knife. However, it's off the Blade HQ website. You need to take a picture of the knife, and you're about $300 high. You say it's out of stock, but Microtex just hit DLT for $310. You're asking $485. I'll just do shit like that, kind of troll them. Not because I'm being mean, but just because there's no reason. Now, for example, the EMP EDC that was up there for $565, that was Damas steel and Zircon tie. I didn't know enough about that to message the guy. But you'll see a lot of things with shamans, with a lot of these custom knives, or this the Evo Sharp by Design. I finally traded that with buddy Paul Mills to get this. I took a lesser deal because I wasn't carrying the knife at all. But yeah, I think it's all of our duty, because NAF sale, I don't know the percentage they take because I've not sold there before, but I bought a lot of knives there, and it seems like a safe place to do business because people get rated, and you always see people on there that that you can reach out to. And I think we all buy a lot of knives out there, but I hope that if they are being competitive, nothing's going to be as competitive as you and I linking up and making a PayPal deal. But to be able to reach people, I think that's a good thing.
I mean, with some models, like when I wanted to sell the ZTs,
Rob, did you register for both giveaways before you go? Because you're not here to win either one of them.
When I sold a couple of zero tolerances, I mean, most of the people that I know in the community aren't interested in them. And I actually ended up selling both of them overseas to the same guy. I don't remember where it was at. It was somewhere in Eastern Europe. But I mean, you broaden up your potential market when you post stuff online. And so, I mean, I still try to be fair with the price, but I am going to be a lot more fair with somebody I know, somebody from the community, if somebody I see on a regular basis, in chats, or I see them on Instagram all the time, or whatever the case may be.
It's like but dove hunt, and you were selling a pew pew to one of your buddies that you hunted with or somebody's cousin. You're going to make a more fair deal, or not fair deal. You're going to give a better deal just because of the camaraderie of the situation. You're going to know where the gun is, type of thing. At least that's the way I look at it. I look at
Yeah.
somebody sitting there across the table from you, whether I just met you or we've known each other, I'm going to feel, because I'm gullible, but I'm going to feel closer to you probably unless I get bad vibes, which I rarely do. I picked up a few and they were true.
Well, it's like I said, to me, a lot of it what goes around comes around.
I agree.
If you're doing right by the community that you're participating in, then you'll be rewarded in the long run. It may take a minute, but by doing, sometimes, and I'm just, this is kind of an extreme example, but just, kind of hear me out. You take somebody like Jared or MC or whoever, or you, or I don't know who, any of the influencers, there's a lot of them do a lot of good stuff, and they're nice to people and they allow for a lot of things. And so people give them good things because they make the people feel better for whatever reason, and it's the same thing in an Instagram group. If you're always there, you're always being nice, you're always talking to folks, the next thing you know, somebody's done sent you something for free. Like I said, the rewards come if you do right. If you're trying to upcharge people and take advantage of people, then a lot of times it don't work out in the long run.
Did I tell you about my Nashville experience?
Friday? All I give is heartburn and headaches.
I won't talk about it long because everybody here's heard it. But you weren't.
I was going to say, I don't remember because I get confused on what I listen to.
Never been to the Early Bird before. So Jeff and I got there about 30 minutes early because there wasn't a big show. Because they had to comp me some tickets because I won one of the giveaways last year, but they sent it to somebody else. So they reached out and said, we want to make this right, blah, blah, blah. I said, fine. So we went and we got our VIP passes. And so the show didn't open for 30 minutes. So we walked out, that little front room that you go in before you go through. So we walked back out and there was nobody there. And so we got behind about 7 people and got in line. Well, about 5 to 10 minutes before they opened the doors, this big muscular tattooed dude and his loudmouth bitch wife and about 4 of their friends come walking up the side stage or the side steps like they'd been down waiting, camping out overnight. The line started down there. And there were old people standing there too. I had my little heater in my back. I was ready to kick his knee out from under him because he was starting to piss me off. I didn't know whether they hit him or his wife first. They were both loud mouths. And I didn't know the story till we got in. But anyway, this old guy was like, no, we've all been standing here since we walked in because the sign at the bottom of the stairs points up here to the line. So that guy and his wife, I guess, cut the rest of their 6 friends off and just kind of ease their way in line, still being loudmouths for the whole next 10 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. And she was just bitching to him, and he was looking around like he was going to say something, and I was literally just cold staring at his knee. I was thinking I'll just kick it quick, and I'll have my thumbs in your eyes, and somebody will break it up, right? Get kicked out, but maybe they'll remember me from the guy who didn't get the prize, and I'll get a pass. But so they open the doors. He's got a briefcase, T-shirt. It wasn't the Enaz guys, but it was him and his wife. And we all walked straight to the Junko table because Andrew was there. Andrew's son was there doing the math. And they had probably 80 combinations of Blims, G10, and then some $2,300 to $2,500, I guess, full customs with titanium anodization.
I wish I could highlight comments on this.
and stuff like that, right? So I stood in that line behind like 9 people, and right in front of me was loudmouth bitch and her testosterone
Don't talk about my mom like that.
the whole time, kind of talking about, oh, that just went, because they were looking over, you can tell they're just scoping the shit out. So by the time we got up there, Jeff had been around and he'd seen probably 5, 6 tables. He even bought some. So he came back and got in line with me, but he wasn't all stressed like I was. I was like, this motherfucker is about to catch a fucking freedom pill. He's just a loudmouth. And so they
Is Javon talking about capping somebody in a line for line skipping?
No, dude, he not only that, what he did is he got up there and they were just asking about the customers that were left. There were like 4 or 5 customers left. So he was bitching to his wife to reach in the briefcase and get more money. So they were counting out like $24,000 that they had. And they had poor Andrew, or no, Andrew's son trying to do it on the calculator to total it up so he could take the cash and give him a receipt. But they were absolute opportunists. They bought those knives in such an aggressive manner to walk away and list them probably before they got out of there.
All right, now we got to read some of these comments here. A couple minutes ago, I wish I could highlight these while you were talking. Kyle said, all 95 pounds of Javon was hot.
And then it's about 120, and I get Banny Rooster fucking high. It takes
Brand New American said, do you have to do karate? Then Pretty Fly says 97 pounds because of the sweat.
The reality of the story is I was a state-ranked Mighty Mouse wrestler all through high school.
Someone has said something about, did you jump on him like a spider monkey?
That's the biggest mistake. As a little guy, you've got to take out one of the trunks and you've got to immediately shoot in there because all you want to do is get them on their back. Unless they're a jiu-jitsu guy, then you're fucked anyway. But once you get them on their back, they're taken by surprise, and you take your thumbs, you just put them in their eyes, and you tell them, don't you move, motherfucker. And you're putting enough pressure on their eyes that they'll just fucking sit there. And then somebody pulls you off, and then people testify like the old man who was beside me, older than me, who looked kind of shaken up. He was there with his wife and had gotten there a little bit before we did. Just a nice guy. I can't wait
to meet Javon someday so you can show me these sick moves.
Dude, I've not thrown hands in over 32 years, probably. And the last time it happened, a guy had tracked me down at college for no reason. Evidently, there was something about his high school girlfriend being a little sister at the fraternity and me dating her. I didn't know him. He stayed in a duplex next door to us. Caught me in the parking lot one night when I was wasted, walked up to me, talked shit, and punched me in the jaw. I walked in, had kind of a swollen up jaw. Illuminati, thank you, brother. Let me see who won memberships. And never thought about it. I was kind of humiliated. I wanted to go back out there, but my roommate was like, dude, you're wasted. You don't need to go back out there. Because I've always been a scrappy dude. Well, 2.5 years later, he graduated college, and me and my fiance at the time and my roommate, who was in that house at the time, were walking out of a bar called Darnell's. We were tripping balls. We'd been listening to a band called Nothing Personal. It was right around 2 o'clock in the morning because that's when Auburn shut down and people would get arrested for DUI or public intoxication. So that little 10-minute window was essential in getting the 4 miles to your house in your car. So I'm walking across the bookstore, which is right parked, and I'm tripping, but I'm parked right next to the bar, literally 15-foot walk. And as I'm coming across, I see this fucking dude out of the corner of my eye come from behind the bookstore, which has been closed for like 7 hours. He'd been waiting for me. And he's walking across the parking lot, and I have enough time to recognize this is that motherfucker, Lambda Chi, that cold caught me in the parking lot 3 years ago. So he walks up, swings at me, and I went right for his legs. It'd been raining. Perfect double leg takedown. The back of his head hit a puddle, which kept him from cracking his skull. But by the time I had my thumbs in his eyes, he was getting water in his nose because I was about to drown that motherfucker in a puddle. I was so pissed. And my fiance at the time was mortified. She pulled me off. She'd never seen that side of me before. Blah, blah, blah. What in the world's wrong with you? You just attacked that guy.
Fucking shit.
I said, no, I didn't. That was a preemptive strike of a dude who was coming to do me harm. I mean, he did it before. If I get punched twice, shame on me. But yeah, fuck those dudes. Why am I not seeing the people that Bluminati? I mean,
I don't know.
I want to make sure that they know to go register because Bluminati hooked you guys up, and thank you, Bluminati. My point was, I saw Coco and the guy that run eKnives. Y'all are familiar with that store, probably. They do the same kind of stuff. They go to little shows, their truck. They buy knives, they resell them. They recoup, of course, their travel expenses. But they were in the same line. They run a business that I know what it's called, but they were very courteous. They were very nice. They made conversation. They were doing stuff like telling us just in conversation the knives that were still left because they were that aware. I thought that was really cool. And that other guy was just an absolute, there's no way he had been camping out. He wanted to cut line, and he and his loudmouth wife thought they had a pass, and they did. They actually got the freaking pass, which makes me kind of sick. But I'm not in jail. I'm not beat to within an inch of my life. And I wasn't going to buy one of those $23 hinders anyway. One Moon was gifted a membership by Brother Bluminati Ninja. Stephen Johnson was gifted a membership by Brother Bluminati Ninja. Pat, 1 Minute Knife Review, was gifted a membership by Bluminati Ninja. Trevor Crystal was gifted a membership by Bluminati Ninja. And my brother from another mother, Kyle Cooley, was gifted a membership from Bluminati. Now, guys, the link that I've got pinned up there now, I want everybody to go comment on. That's the general subscriber link where we're showing love to somebody. I totally forgot who it was, but I'll go click on the link and check comments. Let's see. If I click on that link, should open another window. All right. So this is Aries EDC. It looks like we've got 63 comments. So I think y'all have been participating. Make sure, if you haven't yet, go there and leave Javon in the comment. That's going to be this little guy here. The only reason I want to get this out of the way is so I can put the member link up there. So those guys that were just gifted memberships can jump in there. That's true, Tori. I would be charged. You're absolutely right. Or I could have gone in my duplex and called the cops and sued that motherfucker. But I would never do that. I'd settle it on the street. And I never went looking for him. And I'll tell you why. Because he was a big motherfucker. And it kind of scared me a little bit because I'd been in a fight, several fights, and I'd gotten the worst end of several fights. But they'd all lasted 5 to 7 minutes where I kind of knew it was time for me to get the fuck out of there. Where his was just a quick pop, turn around. I was like, fuck. And then I was like, dude, that guy was like 2 feet taller than me. But when I saw him 3 years later, man, the spirit molecule said, not again. You grab your Indian powers, little man, and you get ready to take him to the pub, which I did. That was the last time I threw hands, and never would again. But I won't take shit either. I'll shout somebody down. I'll tell somebody they're a piece of shit. And if they hit me, I probably would sue them. Why not? I mean, if I'm not going to fight anymore, you've got to have some kind of They have to suffer some kind of.
Kyle said so. He was 5'10",
He was probably 5'11", maybe
and then
maybe
and then
6
and
foot.
then Dr. Drew said Javon also had the power of cocaine in his nostrils.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. And I was totally sober. Well, I was California sober. I was very chill. But at the same time, it rubbed me the absolute wrong way. And it wasn't me and Jeff, because Jeff, my buddy A to Z, Tad knows, or Dark Gravity knows him. He's a big guy, but he wasn't saying shit because he's real chill too. And the old man and his wife were the ones that were looking, they were not comfortable. And that bummed me out because they were there, probably drove over from somewhere in Tennessee to check out the show. They were in no rush to get a Demco. They were probably go looking at some old slip joints and just spend the day together.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying I was a greater betterment.
He's saying you're geriatric pocket metal.
I fucking heard that shit.
Hey, if I could find his website, I would go flame the absolute shit out of him. All right,
I'm trying to think of a damn knife dealer that's jacked on steroids. But I don't.
They all are. I mean, Coco's husband. When I say jacked, look at me.
Coco's husband's smaller than I am. And he's muscular, but that's because they work well.
But
the way you were talking,
I'm a little guy.
Well, the way you were talking, I was thinking it was some guy that was, built like McCoy that used to work for Microtech.
This guy,
Jason McCoy.
He was more like Jake Paul, but he was older looking, and he had short hair and a porn mustache. And I wish I'd taken a picture of him so I could internet shame him. I could have put him on my blogs. And
I would have wanted to take a picture of him, period, just because he had a porn stash. I mean, that shit's fucking hilarious to me.
Like Tri-State, if Tri-State's protein shakes worked.
But right. I wish I would have went with y'all now.
Well, we should have gone Saturday. Friday, the reason we went is I could have probably gotten both fives that I got, which were the 2 fixed blades and then the little Demco Shark Hub. I could have gotten both of those on Saturday. I just didn't think about it. And I knew if I went back, I spent $1,040 on 2 fixed blades on this knife, which I absolutely wanted. Made in Rhode Island. I want to say it was $345, worth every penny. Just a beautiful handmade slicer. And then I bought this one from Dustin Driver, because you're familiar with.
Yeah, I got a driver defense shirt.
This is the little splinter in MagnaCut. It was right around $3. And again, he had 6 of them. He lives 45 minutes from me. We always talk on Instagram. I wanted to support him. And then I had to borrow, as shameful as it was, $40 from Jeff to have the balance of my 200 for my little shark life, which I needed like a hole in the head. So guys, I've got right now 55 of you general human beings. I've got 78 people in here. This is not the member giveaway. This is just everybody. So jump in there real quick. I'm going to give it about 4 or 5 more minutes so we can hang and just chat shit. But go in there and leave Javon as a comment on what's his fucking name? Aries CDC. I come by honestly. What else did I get that I want to show you? Did you see my little Griffin Poe?
Yeah.
Scout Medic?
Yeah, I think I've seen most everything that you've gotten lately, except for maybe some of your, more common filler type stuff
I
that you
try,
use for content.
yeah, I try to stay away from
Now, you
look.
did an unboxing either today or yesterday afternoon that I hadn't got to watch. Oh,
That was this little Bark River. That was
okay.
yesterday. And then today
That,
I unboxed the Scout and the Theory from Artform. This is a knife. I never enter giveaways, but I entered one on these. I like his lives. I miss Buddy. And this is a one of one prototype. It's the Kaiser October, like I gave you, Buddy.
yeah,
But this is
the full
in,
tie.
yeah, this is full tie contoured orange peel. So if you look at the full ties now, they're flat. And
Yeah,
it's
I love that little Kaiser October. I got it sitting right here.
yeah, the shape was always nice, and just the fact that this was so unique makes me think it may be a keeper. Um, I was really stoked to win it, and I never, even enter stuff. He was just like, I want everybody to enter because he was doing a big giveaway with a bunch of stuff. I don't know if I told you, but I went heavy on the nibs. Did you see this knife or have any interest in it? It's probably too small for you. Jeff laughed at it.
I've seen it. But yeah, it's. I
You don't
mean,
want to say,
truthfully,
and love me for saying this. Where is it?
I got those Ironheart pants, and the where they have rivets in them instead of the bar tack stitching or whatever.
Right.
And most of my pocket knives keep getting hung on the rivets for the coin pocket. And so I've had to start when I wear those pants, I have to wear low profile or use carry a slip joint because if I don't, it's going to end up ripping the rivet off
Or
of
spinning
my
out.
pants.
Doesn't that look
Um,
to you like a little mini Jaeger? I don't know if you can
yeah,
see. And he claims that I can understand when you're looking at a lot of knife designs, you'll come up with things that are similar. But this little guy, I went to their site because I wanted the purple Nerf. And it came in, and I love the hollow grind. I love the way I can choke up on it. For example, I've got ATRM nerds. I love the nerd. So if you look at the nerd and the nip, they're about the same size knife. But the nip has this whole choil here, which I guess in essence is giving you a little less blade, but it makes it a much more comfortable knife to
Yeah, what's
hold.
going on over there?
So long story short, it was S90V, the carbon. Then I went to White Mountain Knives and used my 10% discount and got the titanium because when I bought this one, they sold for like $20 a pivot collar at Hardware, and I bought black. And I thought, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to put black on my purple Nurple. So I had the purple Nurple and black Hardware. This is how my mind is fucked up and works. So then I figured, well, I'll buy the stainless and I can use the black Hardware on it. So I did. And after I got that, traditional pocket knives had 3 of the black titanium. And I went and bought one of those like an idiot. Lefty didn't do shit for it. I love him to death, but I mean, I bought him like anybody else. And I've almost, except it seems foolish to get the Jack Sparrow because it's just a different color carbon fiber and a stone washed blade. But I'm happy to let you check one of these out, Dark Gravity. I think you'd be surprised if you ever carry a thick pocket knife. This would be a perfect, and I'll let you use one of the titaniums, but I think this would be a perfect little 5th pocket knife for you. If you carry one. If you a 5th pocket knife. God, I thought old brother Scotch was going to be here. Let me show you what what I've got coming, and then I'm going to do the giveaway.
Like I said, I just always carry a slip joint in one pocket and
Primary in the other.
yeah, primary in the other. And like I said, I've had to start carrying smaller, lower profile, pocket knives when I wear certain pants because they got rivets.
Are the rivets get in the way of the clip going down if they're in the
No, when I sit down, if the knife is not low pro, like a full, like in the pocket, type deal, if it sticks out, when I sit down, the clip or the handle of the knife, one of the two, usually the handle of the knife will catch the rivet and push the rivet up. And I figure it's going to end up ripping that rivet out.
I got you. Show you. Did you see that one picture?
I'm looking at the bigger over here now that it showed up. So that's the Lego handle, it looks like.
I'll tell you what it is. Let me show you the back of it.
But say, I just figured with your delicate hands, the gunner grip would shred your freaking hands.
We tried to take a lot of that, in consideration.
Well, I mean, the gunner grip would shred anybody's hand.
Is that the same size as the S&G? It looks like it when I hold it, but his hand could be a lot larger than mine.
I was going to say, I don't know how big. I mean, I'd have to see it next. The S&G is the 3.5-inch blade. The SMF is like a 4-inch blade, and the PT is like right at 3 inches, or 2.75.
S&G is sized the same as the Strider, because it's 3.5 on my S&G.
Yeah, they're the same. It's the same size.
All right, here's the last picture of it open.
The Pro Strider is S&G is the same size as the Strider S&G. If I knew where my Strider was, I'd show you both of them side by side.
Well,
but I still haven't found it.
In his unboxing, you can watch his unboxing. He said it's not even really been broken in yet. And I forget what he called this this handle.
It looks like a Lego handle.
Let me see if I can zoom on it. I don't know anything about him. I want to say it's G10, and it wraps around on one side.
That's got some kind of lines in it. And I don't think the Lego has a different kind of lines in it. So I don't know what that handle's called.
He named the steel. I'd never heard of it. He said it's their equivalent or very similar to RWL.
That's the Cosby sweaters handle. And if you don't keep an eye on it, it'll touch you when you're not looking.
Damn, my texts are on my freaking phone. I can't look at it and tell you what it is. But it's a certain one. I'll tell you what we can do real quick, and then we're gonna do the drawing because we got another drawing. Scotch. I don't know where Scotch is. I thought he was gonna stop in, and I thought Jason was gonna stop in too.
Well, I know Jason Grant did
crosshatch. I haven't seen it yet.
Jason Grant did an Instagram thing about the time you were going live.
Oh, it wasn't the thing where he whacked the knives with the 2x4?
Oh, I didn't watch it because, like I said, it was about the same time you were going live, and I was trying to get my shit finished up so I could come on here.
Can y'all see that?
Hey, what's up, Scotch and things? Whoops, it just fall.
Because I didn't get to come last week or come on last week because I didn't get my shit done. So I'm trying to get everything done and
S110B double.
So you could participate.
Yeah.
of some like an SNG or God dang.
So he'll tell us what it is.
Something. And if he doesn't want
Last
it, I'm gonna
week,
offer it to him for
I couldn't get everything done though because we were babysitting.
But I know he's been looking at some, showing me some, and you know, Strider's gonna have elevated prices. And this one, here's the H2G2. If anybody's, I tightened the pivot so it's got no more. Shit, I follow this guy on. Comes in this and usually a Ziploc bag. So this was a pretty cool knife. It is the crosshatch. So I would consider this like a hybrid. This is like the hybrid of a concealed carry and then the flat side. The dagger grind. This knife is brand new in PD1.
In PD1.
So it is stiff because it's cold. I usually find the G10 knives need a little bit more breaking in, or they're not as
surprisingly, I'm not usually very stiff when it's cold.
Flickable as like the aluminum or full-tie knives.
That's funny. So it says SNG, so that would probably be
So
the
here's
same
a Strider
size, right?
unboxing.
Yeah, that's the 3.5-inch blade version.
What do you think of that steel? What do you call it?
PD1.
As
I think
flickable.
it's a good
As like
steel. It's
aluminum
just
or full-tie knives.
I think RWL is from Udahome or
Oh yeah, Javon.
some. What's the one that makes M390? Shit, my mind's something. Bowler. I can't remember. I think RWL is from either Bowler or Udahome. But I mean, it's a good steel. It's just, I mean, it's going to be like a what is it? It's
like a fixed steel? Do they make
it's a powdered version. I think it's a powdered version of 154 or something. I can't remember what RWL 34 is.
I think you're right.
It's a powdered version of something. And I mean, it's a good steel. I mean,
did everybody register, guys? I'm going to check the comments. We were at 55. We are now at. My mouse fucking sucks. All right, we're now at 65. All right, guys. There is a link at the top. You've got time to go up there, like, subscribe, type your mind, but I'm going to go there and go live, and we're getting ready to draw a winner for the CTS XHP Spartan Field Grade Talos, which is, like I said, the exact same package, which you probably see, as the little 3 1/4-inch Harson. Good knife. Again, good steel. Good G10. Good luck, guys. Let me keep the screen.
good luck, everybody.
Good luck, guys. Then I'm going to put the, and we got time, but I'm going to put the member giveaway. So 65. Can everybody see it? Let me go over here and look. I can see it. I'm going back. Good luck, kids. Acid test kids.
Where's he at?
I'm still pulling for you for one of the others. I'm sending you out one way or another, but I was hoping I could put it in another box. So acid test kids, give me a second, brother. You know the drill. I think I've got your address, but do me a favor and hit me up at email here at 2021 at Gmail. I got to change this address. I got to get something more channel centric. All right, guys. Let me get old.
I don't think ATK is in here.
He doesn't
I
have
haven't
to
seen
be.
him in here.
He doesn't have to be. If you're a subscriber, if you get in on those giveaways or the member giveaways, as long as we know you and you leave a comment, You don't have to be in a live. If I do like a random giveaway where we go rate a channel, that's different, right? Because everybody would have had to
Well,
come.
it ain't like all of us don't know Acid Test Kid
Yeah,
anyway.
and like I said, I'll get it up there early in case some of you guys have to go early. So let's go to the Spartan. Guys, I've screwed up twice on my Instagram stories. They're kind of funny. So, you know how I go through and I'll find the lyrics of the song and I'll just share people's stuff to try to show Instagram that I like it. So I shared a Spartan horsey or Spartan knife and had some made the USA thing. And they messaged me, hey, buddy, that's one of our imported knives. I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I hope you got some clicks off it. And then today, I shared what I thought was Tim McNeese's post. He's an Alabama boy. He makes his knives in Alabama. I have one of his knives, and it's one of my favorites. He's like, hey, dude, that's not my stuff. So I immediately deleted it. Now, I didn't want his up there. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you. I'm a huge fan. I don't know how I fucked that up. And he laughed, hey, don't worry about it, dude. I'm sure I got some traffic. He was kind of funny about it. But he's a really nice guy. I don't know. That's another great thing about going to some of these shows is to put a face and a personality, even though it's their show personality. But like I've met Israel Bacchus 8 times, and he's always the same. He's just a very upbeat guy. I mean, it doesn't matter if you meet him in the evening. It doesn't matter if you meet him at his booth. Same with somebody like Tim McNeese, really low key, doesn't seem arrogant at all. Will talk to you about everything. All right, guys. So what I've got to do is now take the members link and put it back up there. I think most of you guys, because it's been up for a couple of days, most of you guys have probably entered in it. I'm terrible at multitasking. Hey, did I tell you
Nope.
a little butt buddy Lefty got me in the custom flashlights? I swear he sold his soul.
Well, when you get shit for free, it's easy to get you into stuff.
He's buying this shit, dude.
Just fun.
The stuff that he's getting, these customs, they don't play. You know, it's kind of like
I know they don't play. I figured people were sending the shit to him.
when Joseph Vero sent me a couple of knives that I asked to check out. I had like 10 days. I ended up buying one of them, but I sent the other one back. You know, and I understand they're serious about they're not looking to like Bosty or somebody like that is, right? They're a little bit different about it. So no, I think he's gone down the rabbit hole to where it may lead to some sponsorships down the road, but I don't think the Focus Works of the world, I don't think the Akumas, the people that can't keep them in stock, it's kind of like Hinderer. Would Hinderer take an affiliate link? Why? You know?
Well, it's, I was just being sarcastic about Kevin because he spends so much fucking money, it just boggles my mind.
But you know what his trick is?
Well, he flips it all.
He flips it all. Every bit.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There's nothing sacred to him as far as, you know.
He looks at it as a rental fee. He looks at
Yeah.
it, he keeps it for a couple of weeks, and he loses $100 on it. You know,
It's bad on some of it. I mean, with some of the flashlights, if he gets, you know, I can't think of all the names of the big high-end fancy flashlights, but like Okluma or something like that. If he gets Okluma, I mean, he can turn around as long as he don't fuck it up and damage it. He can turn around and sell it for basically what he paid for it because somebody's going to want it because they're tired of trying to fucking chase one.
And that's what,
you know, because
Complex talks about very openly. You know, he has his Patreon knife sales to make money because he doesn't take sponsorships. And I guess sponsorships, if you get into, I won't do it because it'll upset Pocket Metal. But if you can learn a lot from the beauty influencers on YouTube and how dirty the game really is.
Javon's got a deal coming up with Revlon, so you know.
No, I'm gonna start doing my my shimmers.
I figured he was working with Astroglide, but
Not yet. Let's see how many. Uh-oh. Okay, guys.
uh,
Link posted at the top
Holy shit!
of the page. If you're a member and you have not,
Mersault just listed off some of the better, those high-end fancy flashlights with weird-ass fucking names I couldn't think of.
hey, I will give Lefty this. He's been, and I don't watch them all, but he's been putting up a flashlight review every day, and he's been doing things. I tried to watch one of them, tips and how to mod them, and he was changing the tail caps on all these different. He bought the caps from Akuma, but he's changing them for all these different makers' lights because they have a different tactical feel. He's even gotten to where he's bought the extra switches. He hadn't had to use them yet, but he's learning how they go together. I wouldn't be surprised because he did a review on the Sharp by Designs. He didn't like it. It was an imported light that had very limited functionality and no programmatic.
Programmability.
No programmability. But he says basically there are two drivers, maybe more, and more lenses based on the power. And he's learning how to do it because I think they'll do a light one day. I think he really likes them. This is right here, the Focus Works 3. This is the first one from EDC Supply. It's just low, medium, and high.
I went down the flashlight rabbit hole years ago, and you know, of course, there's a lot more in that rabbit hole now than what there was then. But for me, I found that
That's all you need right here.
I will say I carry the i5 or the i3. I mean, the i3 EOS from Olight is what I carry, and you know,
plug your ears.
It does everything I want it to do, and everything I need it to do. You know, I don't get the strobing colors and the tritium inserts and all that kind of stuff. And hell, most of them are bigger than my pecker, and so I don't need that in my pants.
Speaking of,
you know,
oh shit, he kicked us out.
have I shown you this?
Yep.
Speaking of bigger than Javon's pecker,
This is my latest CountyCom purchase.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's bigger than your pecker, and you got to carry it around in your pants.
Look at the truck. No, it's a truck. See that one bezel?
Yeah.
On a 21.7. I went ahead and
you don't want to see where he pulled it out of.
I ordered the tritium
wallet
and the UV glue that I set up. So I've got tubes coming, but this is the laser emitting projector. So this light is the same thing as having a laser beam. So inside it, it's a laser beam that shoots on this right here. This thing will go a quarter of a mile. I want you to see something.
Javon, your house is only like 30 feet wide. What the hell?
I'm shooting it out the door. And I'm going to show you my video in a second. See my hand? Right there?
What the fuck? Okay, now here's the question, John. What the fuck are you looking for that you need that bright of a light?
The only thing I would be looking for with this light is if I needed to blind somebody that was coming at me while I was getting my Benny Rooster self ready, because it would absolutely blind somebody, or if I was looking up in trees for a down limb, or if I was looking at a very strong spotlight, because I can shoot this across the cemetery. You know, I live across the street from the cemetery. Dude, it will go to the next street. Let me show you the short I did. I didn't do it really good justice, but check this short out.
I think Salamondo is right.
What'd he say?
He's watching the neighbors get it on.
Yep.
He blind him.
Marsault would hate this light because it's it was not cheap, but it was not.
I love county. I love county com.
I love CountyCom too. It was not expensive like some of the ones I'd seen. So check this one out here. Whoops.
Jesus.
Where the fuck to go?
I don't know.
All right, hold on.
But like I said, that was just me. Is I would get the fancy flashlights like that. They were uncomfortable to carry.
What's this? The first one?
Hey guys, let's check some flashlights.
Text flood.
This is my Meritech Flood. Pretty bright. This is my Focus Works. This is my mini laser.
Javon's trying to see into the past to see what those dead people are doing.
This is not the
Yeah.
mini. That's the mini.
Can you guys see
Is
that?
that a UFO I hear?
No, that's
And here
Children of
comes
the
the
Sun
big
by
boy.
Billy Thorpe.
You just said a bunch of words that
EX Reach.
I don't even know if they belong
This
together.
is the reach right here. That's a mountain across the cemetery.
Are you banging? Hey guys, let's check some flashlights.
But
Not a trip.
like I said, my issue with them is that, I mean, they're just too fucking girthy.
They are too girthy. Now this one, when I unboxed it,
They're literally the size of fucking dildos.
right. This is a truck flashlight, or this is a bug out bag flashlight.
Oh,
'Cause again, if I shined it at somebody, if I shined it at the camera, dude, it would. I mean,
It'd white out the camera.
it is a blinder. And then I've got this little mini, which you can put in your pocket.
Juicy salamander.
Yeah.
Never
But it
girthy
uses
enough.
the same technology, which is that laser emitting technology. It's got a low and a high.
Javon,
Okay.
sometimes I feel like you're trying to sell me a timeshare.
Dude, I just buy things so you don't have to. But I can tell you that Meritech at CountyCom, like these little lights that use rechargeable batteries, less than $100. And they're well-made lights, I think.
And say, I actually,
$5 shipping.
yeah, I've got a few of the Meritech small brass and titanium flashlights. I don't know where the fuck they're at. Because they're so small, I fucking lost them.
Magical Terry, that's just funny as shit, my friend. DG, you hit a gold mine when you started thrifting dildos. Where did I put? So, guys, y'all need to register
True, Kyle.
for the mini giveaway,
Hey, Mama Lo.
and then I'll find a random one.
What you doing?
Trying to keep my eyes open.
Oh, you sleepy?
Mm-hmm.
Baby, where you out again?
What's up, Lo?
Not too much.
Did I
How you
see you?
doing?
I'm doing good, girl.
Good.
Oh, Axon fixed blade. This is the one I couldn't send back to Joseph. I had to buy it.
That looks like a damn kitchen knife.
Well, it's exactly, believe it or not, in this case, it's exactly
What did you like?
Axon. You know my folding Axon? The Vero folder that has this little deployment slot?
Yeah.
Exactly what it's fashioned after. But it does look kind of kitcheny. But it comes with that sheath right in your pocket. And then the one that impressed me the most for the money, this little guy right here, I picked one up that I gave away a prototype for Blade Show 2023. It didn't have a sheath. They didn't know what to do for a sheath. And I suggested they just do a Kydex sheath with no retention. Let somebody pick. you know, if you want to, put it with a chain. So you're not allowed to expense off. But they did it with a
I'm, wa-
technical. But
I'm
this
waiting on Lowe to tell you to quit saying sheath.
Oh, I'm paying attention. He can say sheath till the cows come home.
$63, and I'm sure it'll be cheaper at White Mountain. It's at White Mountain now, but it's Nitro V.
Dark Gravity's wife just said, "Don't you have anything better to do than talk to these jackasses on the interwebs?"
I don't care.
Actually, no, but because if I'm talking to y'all, I'm leaving her alone.
That is not.
Hey, check this out, guys. Pocket Metal, I think you've seen this.
You know I'm cool.
Oh, I know.
Yes, I did see it. That's very awesome.
Hey, check this out, Dark Gravity.
You're little.
This is a knife that was sent to me by Brother Worth, I believe, or maybe Brother Branson. I've got to look at my.
It was Branson.
It was Branson, but this was Brother Jason Brown's knife.
Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome.
I got a slip for it. And it is a forever knife. And I never thought I liked multi-bladed knives, but I love this knife.
Like around the land.
Mm-hmm.
Except when I try to give her a bath. I just cut the water off and she ran out of there screaming.
Have you tried a Civivi Quidditch?
No.
Guys, this is a good little knife.
Oh, fucking shit.
There's so many knives out there, I couldn't even begin to keep up with all of them.
Do you ever look at them anymore? Do you ever go to NASAIL or some of the groups you used to go to just to see what's
Yeah,
out
Josh Branson's very upset that you couldn't even remember who gave you that knife. He said,
It's not that I couldn't remember,
he said,
but
"What the fuck?"
it's got that I've got brain damage, dude. I went to 63 Grateful Dead concerts in the span of 8 years. The fact that I can even find my way from the bathroom to the bedroom is a miracle. I apologize, Josh.
And it's straight down the hall.
Kyle wants to ask your wife if that flashlight is bigger than your member. I mean, it's your choice if you want to.
If I had a wife, I would not have a flashlight.
Not you, Jagweed.
I can tell you, I'll put it to you this way. 2 inches at 100 miles an hour will fuck something up.
I don't blame Jerry, Josh. I just blame my own bad decisions. When I first went, it was 1988, and I really liked.
Hang on, kids. This is gonna be a story.
I really like to experiment. So when I first came to Buckeye Lake Amphitheater and parked the car, and within 15 minutes realized I was in an open air market, and I had accrued everything I could possibly want, like they say in the lyrics. Everything, just
2 inches of fury.
everything, or just too much is just enough, or something. Dude, I went nuts for probably from 88 to 95.
It's warm as shit in here.
And I would go for the music, and also to see how far, how deeply I could go.
Are you reading Kyle's comment again?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
The only time I had powder at a show was in St. Petersburg, and it was half of an eighth of MDMA. And we were eating it with mushrooms and liquid, and it was when my buddy, I didn't think he was going to come back. I thought I was going to have to call his mom when we got back to Auburn and say, I don't know what happened to Lawson. We lost it.
Yep.
Wouldn't drink the water. But this is a really good night that I didn't experience until late in the game. And it makes me realize that, like you said, there are a lot of good knives out there that make a lot of the knives that I seek after kind of ridiculous.
Well,
Even
you know,
though,
I've said it. You can buy a lot. You can get a lot of knife nowadays for $100. A whole lot of knife.
Everything you need, really.
For what most 99% of the time, what I use a knife for, which just like you, is cutting open packages, cutting zip ties, cutting, stupid shit here and stupid little shit there. I mean, I don't need like this Kaiser October. I don't know, what are they, like $50 or something?
I think they were like 80 at the time, but they're down now. What's yours?
Yeah.
CV?
Uh,
On yours, I can't remember.
uh,
If you can't read it, it don't matter.
it's 20 CV, so yeah, it's the $80 one. Because it's 20 CV.
A knife that I've got Jeff thinking about that I want you to hold, and this is too small for you, but this is the Quiet Carry Drift. I'd never experienced one, and I heard Tri-State had a shitty experience with it, but I bought it anyway. And they've got.
I've always heard they're great knives.
I'd heard a lot of good things, but the Tri-State, for whatever reason, had a really bad experience. But what really surprised me about this knife is it's thinner than the Atom. The L is about an inch longer. It's got this really nice, you don't have to get micro milling, but it's got really nice micro milled handle, Vanex blade, rust resistant. It's in their Ocean series.
Yeah.
But they're on the way of getting some more L's in, which is the Drift Large. And A to Z wanted to see what the actual size difference was going to be, because this was too small for them, even though that choil is really useful. But I think the large would be a great work knife.
Well, like I said, I've gotten to where I'm carrying, more smaller knives here lately. More in that 2.75 to 3-inch range.
Buddy Zach, that's my sweet spot, I think. I think from 3.
Greg, it's a prairie dog.
Is that Lulu or Dottie?
It's Dottie.
Hey, Dottie. Let me make you big so everybody can say hi to Dottie.
Say hi to people.
Every time you bring those prairie dogs on here, I want one. And I'm not responsible enough to have one.
Yes, you
But
are.
No, I'm not. I'm gone too much to.
All you have to do is live from cardboard and be there a few times a day, probably.
Oh, they want love all day long.
That's the way I look at it. I've got cats right now, and cats, even the fucking cats I got want attention. I got cats because they're supposed to not want attention. But if I walk inside right now, both of my cats will be standing next to me, meowing, wanting me to pick them up.
Yeah, mine were doing that earlier.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my cats. They're supposed to run off and go hide. But no.
My cat tries to sit on my desk while I'm working. It drives me nuts. He comes over, headbutts everything, knocks shit off. Oh.
Here's a history question for you, Dark Gravity. Have you ever heard of a company called Servant Knives? S-E-R.
What knife?
Servant. S-E-R-V-A-N-T. Ben Kissel. They're not in business anymore. But this is a knife that Carco included when he sent me the Evo. But I can't read. It's CPM 350, 12 of 35. It was born December 2020, but it looks like it says simple tux or simple TUR. And I tried to find their website, and I can't find anything about them online, but it's got really nice jimping, thick blade, very, very sharp.
The two places that I go to find odd knives like that, usually because they have such a huge used knife, or they keep their old knives that they sold years ago listed.
Arizona?
Arizona Custom Knives and that, what is it, Old Henry Knives or Uncle Henry Knives, or
I've never heard of them.
they're another.
Mind. Let me go.
Uncle Henry.
Is Old Henry or
That's like Uncle Henry's like the side brand of like Schrade or some shit.
yeah? What is it called? Fort Henry.
Fort Henry.
Fort Henry. Someone put it down there.
Yeah, Fort Henry Knives. Oh, somebody put it. Oh, yeah, I see where 5 Door put
5
it.
Door just put it. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Fort Henry Knives has a database, kind of. Well, they used to. I haven't been on there in a while, but they had a database like Arizona Custom Knives, where you could go see knives that they sold 5 years ago or 6 years ago. You know, whatever.
I've never seen
And
this
so-
site before.
Well, it's probably better. You probably should have never saw it.
No doubt. Let's go advanced search.
I wonder if I can't remember. The site looks familiar now that you brought it up, but
Well, it looks like that one you showed me, that custom, what was it called?
Yep, Fort Henry does more customs than than regular brands. But if you go into advanced search, you could possibly look it up.
No, it didn't have anything by Servant Knives. Let's just do Google. I think I'll
The only
look.
thing about Fort Henry Knives is like everything they have is fucking sold. Oh, they got a Bob Dozier with a cross-cut micarta.
has anyone else seen that? See that butcher knife up there? There's been another commercial playing on YouTube
This one
channels.
right here?
It looks something like that, and every time it plays, I get so fucking angry. This guy's like, my wife bought me this great kitchen knife, and it's the coolest kitchen knife, and my wife's so cool. Just look at this thing cut through a piece of shit. And it's just like, come the fuck on. These
I can
commercials.
show you
God, they piss me off.
I can show you a knife that we can give away that's in that same vein. Servant Fixed.
Oh, there it is right there. That hand forged cleaver thing. It looks exactly like that. There's a commercial on YouTube now for it. That thing with the white background. Oh my god. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times.
I've seen the commercial too, and it's like
The dude, yeah.
I don't get angry, but I'm like it boggles my mind.
Marketing to fucking idiots. It's like that bespoke post shit. Bespoke Post has all the greatest crap that we can overcharge you and sell to fucking retards. Sorry, I shouldn't say that word.
I don't understand how anybody, and I'm not throwing hate or
I do
shade
get triggered easier.
or
Absolutely correct.
anything, but I can't imagine
You need to take some
anybody using their channel to unbox Bespoke Post boxes and play that game.
Those commercials, I've left so many angry like things on their Instagram whenever they used to add, and then I kept reporting them for false advertisement and spam and everything I could on Instagram because I fucking hate them. Zach, come on, don't say it so.
All right, is everybody registered for the where'd I put it? For the yes, I think it's the
Sky Mall.
301.
Oh, dude, there's nothing better than being high as fuck on a plane though and looking at Sky Mall and just laughing at the dumb shit they have.
I used to love Sky Mall. I've never ordered anything from there. Have you?
I think if Zach gets about 500 more channel followers, whatever, subscribers, he'll probably will get approached by Bespoke Post to start advertising because they do knives in their boxes.
But they're usually trash for the
Oh,
most.
yeah.
Look at this. It's 42 layer Damascus steel. It's so awesome. It's even made in Pakistan. Can you fucking believe it? Bespoke shit.
What I seem to see on like the smaller items that carry a higher value than I would pay for them that make up a big part of the box.
This spoke. That's fucking great.
All right, guys, I'm going to make the video unlisted. So hopefully you all have gotten in.
I gotta like your video. I get to like your video twice. I do like that part about being on here. Is I get to like it on my computer, and then when I go and like it, I can go back and like it again on the phone.
Hey, we appreciate it. My number one
How the hell does
video
that work?
in
Do
the
you have two
last
different
20
accounts?
days has fallen to number 4. I could play like I'm on TikTok and say, y'all go, Team John, go like my video, watch it. I'll never do that. I would say something. I saw a funny video today, or a clickbait to what I thought was a funny video today. Then I realized it wasn't so funny and I turned it off. But by God, it was funny. But I can't say anything about it because I'm not a bad person. I'm not a hater. Even though I want to be. All right, so I'm going to make this unlisted. And I'm going to save it. And now I'm going to copy and paste.
I hope that vinegar shit I got soaking in there gets rid of that old dead people smell.
We got 6. Oh, Pocket Metal says you need chili. We got 62 entries, guys. Good luck. You do not have to be here to win. I'm going to write down and find whoever the winner is, but don't go anywhere because we'll find something else to give away randomly.
Crazy.
I didn't want to stay in the kitchen because it was so hot in there and there were so many people in there. So I went to the waiting room where we opened the gifts at, and I sat down by Bridget and Dagan. A few minutes later, here comes Dr. Lockler, and she plopped down right beside me.
Gentlemen, you don't have to do anything. Here we
We
go.
don't drink
What's up?
anymore.
Oh,
Anyway, and she would sit over there, and it reminded me of my daddy because she would whisper and talk about folks under her breath. And then she would get tickled at herself and lean over on me and like hide her head in my arm.
you sure she wasn't drinking?
Sure.
Congratulations, Mr. Michael Upchurch. I don't know if you're in here, buddy. You don't have to be. I will
Dr.
find
Literal, I called her over so you can tell the story. It's Dr. Literal about the lady who brought her 13-year-old that masturbated
at the time.
all times of the day and night.
But I thought the mom did too.
Yeah, the mom did too. She told that story too.
I'm gonna give you something that nobody else knew. When I
Oh,
was in,
wow. And had calluses on it because she messed with it so
when I was in elementary school, we had
I mean,
those.
I'm not going to hear this.
No.
We had
I'll
those
tell them.
for
I don't know, no.
That's creepy. It's about a 13-year-old.
where kids
Yes,
would
sir. We'll do that.
during PE. You know what I'm talking about? When in fifth and fourth grade, out on our playground, we had this high thing where we tie 4 ropes, and the kids would climb the ropes and go down. Right? You learn to climb. And I was kind of froggy, so in the mornings they would let me climb the pole with the ropes on my. And when I got up there, I'd hook them on. Well, about halfway up the pole, I had another pole come up.
And I got so fucking tickled because Dr. Murray had taken a few shots and was drinking some sangria, and then she went and got her one of them Truly beverages or whatever. And I looked over there, and she was sitting back like this, just playing in the back of Ivy's hair. Look again, she was sitting there playing with Dr. Shoemaker's hair and Ivy's hair. And then she got tickled about something and leaned like this and did this. And when she did, I was like, Dr. Marie almost kicked me in the face. Yeah.
That's better than mine. After climbing up and hanging the ropes, I had to walk around with what I didn't know was pre-seminal fluid all over my pants.
Hang on, I missed something.
That was my first, I guess you'd call it, masturbatory experience. I just didn't know it. When I used to have to hang the ropes up.
Apparently, they hurt
Dude, it was beautiful.
Oh no.
Apparently, they heard what you said.
Me climbing the pole was my
Javon,
way of not even knowing what I was doing.
I'm so embarrassed. I do not think about doing this kind of thing.
Blowing child stuff all in my lap.
This fucking chat has went off the rails.
all right,
What
all
the
right.
fuck?
Javon's telling a story, but his microphone volume is so low, no one can hear what the fuck he's saying. All we can hear is part of something about Mr. Shoemaker or some shit your wife's talking about. It's funny. But the thing is we all started the story halfway through, and then every once in a while you hear Javon like just break through the silence here, and then the rope, and then you're like, what the fuck is he going
Very simple.
He's
The
still
first
talking. No
nut.
one knows what the hell.
The first nut I ever got was between, it was sometimes in 4th or 5th grade, and it was when I was
Oh
climbing
my goodness.
the pole for Jim to hang up the ropes, and somehow climbing the pole gave me this like feeling that I didn't fall, thank God, 20 feet to my death, which I wanted to let go, but I came down and I was like exhausted and crotch wet.
Did you say crotch
Yeah.
wet?
Crotch wet.
Gross.
That's what it was, dude. I had to ask my mom.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
About the birth
No,
of-
but
we never talked about how climbing a rope or a pole may get you harder than a rock and make you slow your load.
For fuck's
Okay.
sake.
so what my wife was talking, my wife works at the local female crotch mechanic, and
They give lift
one of the doctors was telling a story about a mother-daughter patient deal that the daughter masturbated too much and the mom masturbated too much, and they both had big
Together?
calluses on their cletuses. No, it was separate, but both of them had big calluses on their cletuses.
It's a hereditary problem.
The
They have calluses for rubbing it too hard.
yeah, and too much.
They're DJing too often.
Yeah, that
Chicka Slim Shady. How this amazing.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All that time you're talking about that, and Javon's talking about jerking off a rope or something. But you
Yeah,
can
I know.
only Javon
Rope
every
jerk
like
me off.
20.
Masturbation.
Yep. We are discussing masturbation for the rest of the night.
What's your story?
Okay.
Oh, fucking shit. Javon's level, his mic level is so low, and
Why
dark
is that?
gravity
Is it
is
because I'm
like
not-
blowing
is
my
it-
fucking speakers out.
Is it because
So-
I'm not looking at it? Because when I turn away,
I don't. Hey, I don't know if you look at it or not, but
Can
that's
you hear it
a different
now?
story altogether.
All right, I'm going to show you
Oh,
guys
shit.
what I'm going to give away next, and it's not going to be. It's not going to be.
Be for
I
bare
got
John
that.
if you still rub it on a pole once in a while for old time's sake.
You know what happened is after I learned what that would do, I started hanging on my closet door at home, and I would climb in place. That's
For
what
fuck's
you
sake.
should see. That was me like a wind-up monkey climbing in
Oh,
place. And how embarrassing it was when Mom walked in and said, "What are you doing climbing in place?" And I had that look on my face like I needed a cigarette. Yeah, it was bad. All right, guys, see that? I did a review yesterday
Jesus Christ.
on this Baltic Blades Angels. This is a
Oh,
knife that's made by a guy I know.
John's trying to redirect us back to knives.
I'm giving you a knife.
But
This
do you
is
see where, hey, Pocket Metal, do you see where Colby just called John like elf on a shelf?
hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll love y'all just as much. But anyway, this is the revised Gen 2. And I want you guys
I wish I could
to
highlight
know for me, and this has nothing to do with the giveaway. This is just a good thing to do. You'll thank me later.
Are you talking about masturbating again?
No, we will though. We will. 'Cause I just see that Countess Anne's been out tonight. She's posted a couple of pictures, so I'll show you the one from earlier. And then
Chicken fried steak.
I'll have to go get a Taco Bell. Not really.
Oh, fucking shit.
So what I want you guys to do, and I'm going to drop it in the chat, would be a big favor to me, and it would be a big favor to you guys because he's a super cool guy. He makes super cool knives. He's over in Lithuania. He makes them in his garage.
Five Door just put a comment down that's a link to your fleshlight.
So see if you guys can go to that Instagram Baltic Blades and like and follow Paulinus's page. He has about 1,860 followers now. You'll see some knives on here that have handles. You'll see some kitchen knives.
Oh, fucking shit,
The
man.
majority of what you'll see, and I'm going to share it, are the Angels. And what I'm going to give away, we've still got to decide how to give it away, is I got the G2, which is this one here, to try out. But
Colby says we're going to talk masturbation until someone finishes.
But I've got a Gen 1. Here's mine.
Oh,
I've got a Gen 1. I'm going to try to find an old Gen 1. There's Paulius. Very nice guy. One-man guy over in Lithuania. And this
I'm
is
sure he loves you advertising his knives right after you got done jerking off a closet door.
I like this knife. I didn't like the sheath, but I like, and what I asked him about was this little knife, both the Angus and the Angus G2. I know someone like Brass Brigade or someone who knows how to build scales could build scales for it. So let me find the Gen 1. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to show you the actual Gen 1. Here's a Gen 1. See how it doesn't have jimping?
That's what she
Got a
said.
shorter blade. This is the Gen 1 right here. And that's what I'm going to give away. One of you lucky guys. Here's a Gen 1. Again, it doesn't have the jimping, but it's a great little knife. Is
that what they had to use to cut that lady's callus off her hoo-ha?
As a matter of fact, no, but you were talking about the calluses on the clits. Go back to that. That's what we were.
It wasn't me. It was Dark Gravity's wife.
It was Dark Gravity. I interrupted you when you said that the mother and the daughter. What was the verdict of that?
Huh?
The mother and daughter who rubbed calluses into their private parts. What happened? I cut you off in one of my squirrel brains.
Oh, it was just my wife. One of the doctors, Dr. Shoemaker, they had their office party today, and just to give you an idea, my wife and my daughter both took fifths of liquor to this party. So it was a rather lively party.
Oh,
And
about it.
you got 50 women, and they're drinking that they spend their entire day staring at crotches. And the very interesting things that come up when you look at crotches all day.
Oh, Kyle.
And so the
Y'all see this knife right here?
no, my wife and daughter weren't the Cletus duo.
Crotch pot cooking.
This is the knife that I bought from Lefty that I'm going to be giving away to you guys. And we just need to decide how to do it. Do we want to do it random? But
yes,
I want
Shoemaker is a gynecologist.
The funny thing is, when I was a kid, my dentist's name was Shoemaker.
I'll tell you another weird story, but it could go too long because I ended up having what would you call relations with her in college. But when I was in high school, I had to get my wisdom teeth out, and there was this plastic surgeon or oral surgeon, Dr. Myers.
He said oral.
I won't say her name, but she kind of had a crush on me. She was 2 years younger than me. She was good friends with my high school girlfriend, and she was an assistant. So when I was going down to get fully put to sleep, the last thing I remember was her kind of walking over towards my mats. When I woke up in recovery, I either left my zipper down or it was no longer up.
Oh boy.
Well, I know for me, when the birth set kicks in, the pants come off. So
Well, I just wish I could have remembered. It took me, I think it was 5 years later and about 2 tabs of ecstasy. And I don't remember that much about it. But guys, go follow, please.
I love the pivot.
If you comment on any
he goes from his pants being down to go follow somebody without literally skipping a word.
It's all one sentence.
It's all well, yes, it is all one sentence.
I don't know. He should be a lawyer.
I would not wish anybody a tour through my busy mind. It is like a fucking carnival ride that has not been anchored down.
You're the only one here that's like stayed on track through what the fuck ever you're talking
I'm following my man, Paulius, everybody.
Oh, fucking shit, man.
I'm going to leave this quote in here. We're still at 1866 followers, which tells me that y'all are totally fucking ignoring me. Which tells me that I won't give you my knife, by God.
Oh no, he's getting angry at us.
I'm not getting angry.
Please
I'm
don't
just
make
wondering. I'm wondering what is. She's right here. It's not she, but we're going to come to her next. Because she is absolutely worth following. She's not worth a giveaway because any of y'all that get her affection, take it away from me because I've been really sweet to her.
Did you see 5 Doors
That's who you search for on Instagram, Baltic Blades. And it's a guy, I can't pronounce his name. It's Paulius Tchakozis. But this is the knife, and this is the Angus G1. I've got a
I followed it.
But it's got great retention.
I'm going to send him a message and ask him why Javon's been doing that to his closet door.
Why does John climb his closet door till the paint comes off? He has a little scalpel. I think it's a great knife. Let me grab my Saviti. I think it's a great knife.
Oh my gosh.
If you want, like Dark Gravity was saying, a package opener, something to tear through duct tape with, something that's small. This little guy is much smaller than the Saviti Baby Banter. But the way I carried this one, and the way I'll probably
Look at that action.
The way I'll probably end up carrying.
Did you freeze on a Dark Gravity?
The way I'll probably end up carrying this one is with a strap too, because this little knife.
No, I just sold a shirt.
You're like,
is great. 3 Doors Down freaking sucks. They're right up there with Creed. They're Nickelback.
Where the fuck? How did he pivot to that shit? What the fuck just happened?
That's what I was
You
fixing
get
to
that
say.
one
I
out.
went and sold a T-shirt and come back and we're talking about Three Doors Down.
Look what Kyle said.
Oh,
Look, Kyle, please don't. I'll send you a knife to sharpen. All right, guys. So
we all know what
I'm gonna
Javon does on that hanky's always posting pictures of.
do- I don't do any of that, guys. To be honest with you, ever since I got divorced and went through an
Oh, no.
over 4-year relationship, I have been single and celibate, and happily so. I figure if I find the right classy call girl, I might go that route. But I'm not going into a weird relationship with a 50-year-old. 1875. I'm going to trust that you guys are going to go check out Baltic Blades. Send him a, hey man, I like what you're doing. He's somebody that I've been surprised when I said, I really like your knife. I don't know if it's his English or his lack thereof. He's like,
Hey,
that so much
hey,
to me.
Squirrel. Michael Upchurch is in here.
Michael Upchurch. You don't have to try to give away videos. You just need to send me an email address to right here, and I'll show you what you want. Hold on. I've got to pull it because I've already forgotten. I think it was the big giveaway, but I'm not sure. Gmail. But we're about to do another giveaway, so you're right in time. I get too many goddamn
Javon single and
giveaways.
has a
Hey,
house
Hey, I
full
hope
of
you
porn
guys still
outdoors.
come and watch me and
Hey,
hang out.
Kyle, now that you mention it, the next time I go to his house, I'll be scared to touch the door.
You bring some gloves.
Brother Michael Upchurch, you won. Where'd I put it? You won.
That's hilarious.
Did you see
Five.
Jack Terry?
Did you see what Kyle said? 5-door is your butt. Does your butt pucker when John messaged you? I can't even fucking talk.
Kyle,
Oh,
He's
give
gonna.
me.
Kyle
No,
said,
He's gonna
you
change his name.
let's just
God
talk
is
over
being
Javon.
the makeup influencer me when I go, oh no, she didn't.
That is one of my favorite Tucsons.
This is a great Tucson. It's a 301, and this
That
is what
thing's awesome.
won. It is the only downside, which to me, who doesn't use knives hard, is the downside is it's D2 blade, but it's got a titanium handle, micarta and carbon fiber inlays. It's got silky action, standard foam spread deployment, and it costs you nothing. And
He goes down as his body count.
did y'all see Andrew Tate's thing on George
Oh,
Jefferson,
Jesus, here we go.
where he talked about how all women should walk around with their body counts on their head? And his point
Hey,
was,
let's try to keep that there Zelda down, ma'am.
no, his point was not to be ugly. His point was it would make men. It was a weird tangent. I don't watch Andrew Tate, but I like George Janko because he told Logan and him to fuck off. So, guys, I think we are going to give away the Aegis Gen 1 and Tool Steel. I'll try to find the original box. I can't promise. But we're going to give this away as our final giveaway. And I'm just going to do it in the chat unless y'all can think of a channel. Who are we going to go to before? Hold on.
Oh,
We're going to go to Drew's EDC. Hold on a second. I think what happens is I get to moving in front of this.
Salamando, I did. Someone in my house is now playing Tears of My Anus in the living room. Oh, shit.
That's not right. Drew's EDC? That's not right. Drew's EDC has 38 viewers, 38 subscribers. I don't think that's our Drew. I think I was looking at it earlier. Somebody throw in the chat. Earlier we were talking about Drew's EDC. Dick Ritchie, Beef or Bear, and you like that? I'm just looking for a little bit of fairness, somebody who wants to help somebody out for the little scalpel. What do you think, guys? I don't watch Dick Ritchie, but he suggested to me a lot. How many?
Oh, I thought that was a joke. There's actually a channel called Dick Ritchie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to watch his content because I don't know much about him, and I hate to pump up people.
That's because you're too busy watching fucking makeup tutorials.
Dude, I'm gonna we're gonna go to TikTok. And we're going to send hearts and galaxies to Jeffree Star. And whoever is the biggest contributor will win. Dick Ritchie. Let's have a. If he's got. Oh, fuck.
Most of the thumbnails of Dick Ritchie looks like he's squeezing out a little toot.
Is it Rich Armstrong?
No, it's Dick Ritchie.
Well, Dick Ritchie is Rich Armstrong, I think. Let me pull it up and y'all tell me.
I don't know.
Yeah, 1.8.
A-OK.
I feel like we could find somebody with need a little more help, but I could be wrong. A-OK. Do we want to give Dick love? Do y'all like Dick? I mean, he seems like a nice guy.
I mean, I don't hate Dick.
Let's listen
Top
to
of the morning to you.
I'm not a big fan of Dick.
It's day 14. I got a knife.
Copyright.
I'm more of a muck monkey.
He does some meat editing. Seems like a nice guy. I've just never engaged with his content.
You might not have heard me right there. I stepped kind of far away from the camera. Do I have my mic on?
I like his
It's hard to find
personality.
stuff anymore
He's kind of scatterbrained like me.
when you have everything you want about it. You know what I mean? It's a very intrusive question
All right.
when it gets down to
Chicken
go
fried
to-
steak does not like.
He's fucking Asian better than I am.
Let's look at a Smith & Wesson, which is a knife.
Ed Harrison says no dick. I don't know what you guys are hating on Dick.
Ed Harrison is a very good friend of mine. Ed, where are you?
5
I
months. I like that he's a Cracker Barrel.
Shut up, Dick. Where's Ed?
For fuck's sake, that's hilarious.
All right, y'all. Is someone here?
Hey, you know they don't got Cracker Barrel up here?
12 Days Cheeto. Is this where we need to go, buddy?
No
So
Cracker Barrel.
you're deprived if you ain't got Cracker Barrel.
No Cracker Barrel up in these parts.
Is there country fried steak mashed
All right,
with gravy and pinto beans? Is so good.
I will let you know that I don't eat country fried steak.
I knew something was wrong with you.
I know.
Gotta find
That's not the only thing, trust me.
Javon. Let me just see who this is. 'Cause
Dude, now we're getting a turf war here. Some people say Dick Ritchie is the best.
I don't want to cause any grief. I want to give away a knife. I could give $2 left. Beef or Bear and just throw me a super chat. Not that I'm on the
Cracker
team.
Barrel has great hash brown casserole, and
Yeah.
they have a dessert, the apple, fucking what the fuck is it called? Apple something. I can't remember. It's fucking delicious, whatever it is. It's got pecans, it's caramelized apples, and like ice cream or some shit.
Do y'all have Waffle House?
I not right around me. No, we don't. I don't know. There's got to be one in like near Seattle or fucking Tacoma or shit like that, but there's none like in Shelton. There's no Waffle House. Dude,
Yeah.
we used to go to Waffle House all the time after going to the bar, either there
Oh,
or
yeah.
get breakfast at like 5 in the morning after being shit faced. But at Waffle House, you get a good chance of getting into a gun or knife fight, and you go there at 5 in the morning.
Hey, talk to me, Ed.
Oh yeah.
Ed Anderson. That was a Freudian weird sleep. Ed Harrison, do you just not like Dick Ritchie? Is there a reason that we don't want to give Dick Ritchie some love? Just a few likes. All I'm trying to do is pick for you guys.
Up here we got instead of
But-
we go to there's Denny's, but
I
there's also
respect
Sherry's.
Cooper and I
Sherry's got
respect
good pie.
Ed, I
We
respect
used to have Denny's
everybody.
here, but we don't have any Denny's down here anymore. Yeah.
They
I
closed them
just
all
want
up.
to
Huh?
give something away, and if I have to,
Well, all of them in this
I'm
area.
gonna make sure that
I used to love going eating the all-you-could-eat breakfast.
Ed,
I
I
gotta
would
go grab
send
another
me a
beer.
message, but I can't read my. No, Ed, it's our channel, bro. It's all of our channel. I know Maddie's about to go live, Crispy, but I'm trying to give you a knife. I'm gonna do a
You can
random.
multitask.
Hey, John, I'm gonna be the diplomat here. Instead of doing it that way, just do a random number drawing.
How many people we got in here? We got
Or
69
a
people.
comment.
So if I pick a number from 100 to 300, is that too many or is that enough?
No, that's fine.
All
Just
right,
do it the way Zach does it, closest without going over.
100 to 300, closest without going over, unless I choose 300, which I won't, and somebody goes 301. You must have a continental address. Must be here to claim it once we pull you. And you must be 18. And you must be able to receive a small PC blade. All right, guys, write a number down. 100 to 300. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to write it right here. And then I'm going to rip it out. What's on the back side? Shit I don't need.
Zach, I think you're one over, buddy.
All right, everybody can go. I should have typed in go. I'll type in stop when it's over.
Is this your first time doing a giveaway?
This is my first time doing one of these old school giveaways. But I've watched Big Red and Zach enough. I learned from the best.
Clearly. Zach said,
I
don't
mean,
ever say my name in that sentence again.
Dude, we've got some close ones.
Oh,
We've
shit.
got some close ones. I'm looking at a couple of closies.
They're at least within 300.
Ooh, I see one that just is over. Damn. Happy Hactics is playing for Kyle Coonley.
Kyle, I don't, or Dark Gravity, I don't know who Kyle's harassing in your family about his wife, but
Zach, you're one of the guys, and MC doesn't read my little messages when I'm in his lives, but there are a few of you guys that are all different, but that all used to collectively kind of welcome me into the community. I met Big Red through you, Grateful Panic through you, a lot of people. So I'm very appreciative.
like doorknob appreciative, or what are we talking?
The doorknob you always avoided. You didn't
Okay.
hang a nut
I
on the
think
doorknob.
several of us were confused on whether or not the doorknob is in play or not.
I'm hanging, at this time I'm probably 4'3". So I'm hanging from the top of the doorknob, the door handle, which is what is a normal door, 8 feet? 7?
No.
7, 6?
It's a little over 6 feet, isn't it, Dark Gravity? A
I'm up
regular door?
there. And so my legs are kind of,
I don't know right off.
I'm swimming.
John lives in a house from the 1800s, so it's probably 5'10".
Marco, I can't take your call if you're in here, brother, because I'm.
Joe, it just looks 8 feet to fucking Javon.
Marco, I'm streaming.
He's got to get a step ladder to fucking grab that thing.
Has everybody guessed?
Right
I've got
there, Greg says 6 feet 8 inches is a standard door. I haven't done drafting shit in fucking so many years.
All right, let me get my shit together here. Y'all ready to pick? I don't know why Marco just called. I thought he was in here.
It said wrong button.
But he just
It was an
jacked
accident.
up the camera. All right,
Uh-oh. What are we looking at, folks?
my hand. My wrinkly hand, my lifeline that leads nowhere.
I thought he said his wife line.
All right. So, are we all done? I'm going to put a stop in. S-T-O-P-P. That's too many P's. I'll put a few stop signs on. Stop. All right, guys. I saw a close one with Paul Mills, but there could be closer. My number
225. Let's
is
scroll back and see what we got.
225.
Joe Isabella is 223.
Joe
Chris
Isabella.
S is 225 right on the dot.
Who did?
Chris S. So there's at least one.
Well, Chris S.
There might be another one. You don't know yet. Crew wears over.
1. Brian Kerr was 221. Paul Mills was 222. Chris S. I see him at 225.
Yeah. I don't see any
I
more
don't see anybody
numbers.
else besides Chris.
Yep. Chris S. It is.
I think it is Chris S. I like
Congrats,
the numbers.
Chris
There's
S.
not that many people in here. Did y'all like that?
Do what?
The numbers game. It just seems a little more fair. For some reason, the random thing on StreamYard, I just see a lot of repetition. I don't know why.
Do you see when I was doing the one on Halloween, like it kept picking the same name twice?
Yeah, we saw that happen in live.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous. It was crazy.
Congrats, Chris S. What I'm going to have you do, because I don't think I have your address, I need you to email me if you would. And that way I can send you tracking via email and just your postal address in the U.S. or somewhere I can send it in the U.S.
Five Door wants to make sure we're done with Dark Gravity's wife's stories and Javon's stories about, doctor visits / whatever Javon does to his house.
I'm going to come up with interesting questions to ask Chat GPT about my childhood before I get over to said faction. That's what I used to do, is just troll them with Chat GPT weirdness. Are you in here, Chris? Chris S. Awesome, buddy. Congratulations, buddy. I appreciate you being a member. And if you'll just shoot me a...
oh, fuck. When did Illuminati say something about him losing his mom?
Who?
I just saw Zach say, sad to hear about Bluminati losing his mother.
Oh, Bluminati. I did not know that.
He was in here just a while ago. I missed it too until I saw this.
I'm terrible about reading.
Probably laughing at that bullshit. Not bullshit, whatever was going on previously. I'm now scrolling back. Yeah, I didn't see
I'll
that.
reach out. I'm gonna send him a message.
Yeah,
I didn't mean any disrespect. I just didn't see any of that.
No, yeah, I didn't either. So yeah, I'll send him a message.
It's hard to kind of get conversation, but I'm really curious, Chris, what you think about this little knife, because again, he's the Gen 2 is bigger, but I think all the knives he makes are pretty cool, and I would definitely give him a follow on IG because he shoots some really cool stuff. But
okay, Greg said he had a post on Instagram.
Was starting, or was that a myth?
Was what a myth?
Maddie starting.
Oh no, I didn't.
No, I
haven't backed out yet to see what's going on.
I got the notification, but I don't.
See what I don't have a problem with it. But remember when Arizona did that weird "not going to change time" thing? Remember that?
We're trying to do it too,
but
it just hasn't been accepted yet.
We kept the same time, and then when they decided to move up, it jumped an hour into what we normally did, right? So I feel bad. I never want to overlap, but I feel like
It's
the
dude,
least
it's
you
not a
guys
big
should
deal.
get
It's
is
you know,
3 hours.
people can have 2 tabs open. It's not a big deal.
I know, but I just feel bad. I'm one of those
I hear
guys
you.
that I don't step on people's toes unless it's the right toes, and then I'll jump with both fucking.
It's
And I'll wear my Gene Simmons boots, and I'll be a toe crushing mofo. Guys, I love y'all. I hate that we didn't see Scotch. I hate that we didn't see brother. Why can I not think of Brass Brigade's name? Somebody help me. Jason?
Jason.
But I'm glad we saw you, Muff Monkey. You're always a pleasure, dude. Did you get my text last week? Or are you getting them all? I know you're busy a lot of the time. I just want to make sure.
Last weekend I didn't get to come on because I was babysitting. Our granddaughter spent the night with us last weekend, and I was all over the place.
Text, right? I don't mind if you can't get on. I just want to make sure you're getting the text.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey,
That's how I get on here.
I want us to talk, and I want to learn, buddy, because I was not going to go against. Again, I don't know all the different personalities, nor do I really want to, because I think we're all so different that I think if we just kind of focus on the good, it's better for me. Even though I just got my meds refilled, so I can deal with some bullshit for a few days. I love
see you guys Monday. We're doing the Be Up thing for Jason Brown, just as a reminder.
I am so stoked. I'm looking forward to it. And guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Every one of y'all that came out, go over, give Stevie some love. I'm going to run down to the Sunoco to pick up some peanuts because I'm a freak, and I will be back in about 10 minutes. I love y'all.
Good night, everyone.
Look out for the girl left. Please look out.
There we go. There's the camera.
And remember, if you visit Javon's house, wipe down them doors.
And your closet door should not go to waste. If you feel guilty actually touching it, just wear loose clothes and climb your door. I love y'all.